This episode of WrapOn Podcast is brought to you by Brothers Chemical. Brothers Chemical manufactures Vinyl Off and Ghost Off, two of the finest removal and fleet restoration products on the market. And they've just released their Adhesive Off Pro, a low evaporating, fast action glue remover that cuts through adhesive residue better than anything else on the market, saving you time and money on your next removal. Find Adhesive Off Pro at select retailers and online at brotherschemical.com. Use code WRAPON for free shipping on your first online order. That's brotherschemical.com.
Also brought to you by Signburst Workstations, graphic design and rip computers for sign and vehicle wrap shops.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, it's cool because the stamps come through and you don't have to do anything
Josh
extra.
has done a bunch of them, and I guess that's why I thought it looked, because it looks legit.
Yeah, it looks like a normal disc
Yeah.
when they have the stamps on them too.
Right.
So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't know where this thing's gonna live, but probably tucked in behind that Coke thing there. Actually, I'm gonna just chunk it in there because I'll sit here and play with it the whole time.
We can put another shelf on the right side.
Just keep adding more shelves.
Yeah.
That's what we keep talking about doing too. I need to just put some shelves in.
It started with Gary V whenever he would do his videos, and he's got just shit.
He just has stuff everywhere, dude. It's
That and
all over the place.
Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah,
And
it's
you watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Like I watched a video where they shown all the stuff that like different acts have left. It's pretty wild.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever noticed anything in the background at Tiny Desk. I don't know. I don't think I've ever noticed it like stuff like this anyway. Like
Yeah, that's because it's just an entire wall of it.
yeah.
So
That's funny.
you don't really.
Our setup just looks like this. We keep talking about it at 100, just doing a reset and just wiping the table out and just starting over because I just keep piling stuff up.
What keeps coming out, right? Like,
Yeah, that's
like-
exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you had to keep like restacking it all and moving it back so it fits in the table.
But your table's bigger, right? Like it's a pretty good size.
Yeah, it's like 4x6 or something like that.
Yeah.
4x7 almost, I think. So it's pretty big. But
Well, we were talking about it earlier. The size of that room looks massive.
yeah, and it's so small.
It's so
if you saw it, it's so tiny. Yeah. I have the measurements. I probably could have pulled them up before we did this, but yeah, we measured it out. We literally went into an interior design software and like mapped it all out. So I had like a 3D rendering of what the room would look like because everyone was like, no way this fits in this room. And I was like, no, I've measured it out. It will fit. Like it's tight, but it's going to fit. And so we measured out. Sure enough, like behind the chairs, you have like just enough room to get out. It's not a perfect setup, but
It works.
but it's working.
and it looks good.
Yeah,
And
it's worked out well.
I didn't realize you guys earlier is 90 correct? Like you've done 90 episodes?
We just did 95.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yesterday. Wow, that's weird. What a day. Yesterday we did episode 95.
How many have been off-site?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably like 12, 15 of them probably. Yeah. I mean, a bunch of them we did. So last year, Printing United, I think we did like 5 or 6 just at the show. Like we had spots set up to do them.
Yeah.
And then we've just traveled. We've done some like customer shops and that kind of stuff too. So
Do you find that they run a little shorter on the road?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's just because you're out of your regular comfort zone too.
Sure.
Some of them just run short in general. Like I've done some like Tim Horvath, shout out to him. He's been on a couple times and I'll like write out a bunch of questions ahead of time for him. And we'll do like one of the questions and then it'll be 52 minutes later and we'll be like, dude, we haven't touched any of the questions we meant to talk about, right? Like it's just like we just gotta get on a tangent and you just keep running.
Sure.
And like but then sometimes, you like they don't have very long answers for it, right? And you just like rip through them all and you're like, well, okay, well, thanks for watching the Slightly Serious Silent podcast. We're tuning out. It's been 12 minutes and 30 seconds, but no, it's been good.
Do you have a preference one way or the other as far as like on the road or at the studio?
I'd rather do them all in the studio
Yeah.
if I had a choice to do it. But it does give me the option to add people in because we're not going to do them remote. We talked about this earlier too, but like there's just no way it works as well as what we have currently works. Like just being in person, like you don't have that like delay on the video. And I think like people definitely get more comfortable doing it in person than they are when you do it remote, where it's just like
yeah,
over the camera. And short. It's like, yeah, come in and do the meeting. I've done 2 podcasts that I got invited out to that were remote, and both of them were, I was like, they're fine. Like, I'm not even going to listen back through them. I was like, hopefully they found them valuable. I hope they did. But it's like, it's just not the same as like.
Well, I think when it's the other way around, it seemed like if somebody wanted me on one and we were doing it remote, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, that's cool. Whatever, you know, like, I'm not against it, but when you know, you switch the roles around, it's like, even doing them like off site is just, yeah.
If you have the right setup, like we did one last year where we were in like, Arlon gave us like their little like meeting room space, and that was pretty good. It was like a pretty tight space. We did it before the show, so we didn't really have like a super time constraint or anything like that. We had it set up ahead of time, so when they came in, we did like we did, right, where you're just like talking for a minute, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna go live, and then we just start recording. And you can get them like kind of in like when you get someone in like show mode, dude, it's easy to get them talking. We talked about this before too. But like, it's just a totally different atmosphere. So when they've been out there talking about it all day, and then you're in like, so do you have any new equipment or something? And then they just go off, right? And you don't have to really add anything into it. It's just easier that way, I think so.
Yeah, 3M had mentioned that they normally have like a suite somewhere, like you know, one of the hotels or something, like, especially at SEMA, they've always got like a space where, you know, if people want to have meetings or whatever, there's a space for it. And they had asked last year if we would entertain doing something like that. And then there was even like some ideas of like us doing like a kind of like a stand, like be set up at the booth, maybe a little off to the side or something, and run just kind of quick people through. Even then it was like, I don't know. It's like, like I would do it for them, you know, in a situation like that, I think. But even then, I don't know that it would be like our podcast. You know what I mean? It would be more like...
Oh, they were asking if you would come and do like if you would do it on using their suite.
You know what I mean? And so it was like, it was a cool idea. And like, it was like, I think we could do something like that. But I don't think that, I don't know. I don't know that we would have shared it like it was ours. Like, I feel like at that point, it's kind of their content, and we're just kind of emceeing it or like being a part of it.
I feel like we did pretty good, right? We used Arlon's space, and so we mentioned them obviously for it, but the people that we had on weren't from Arlon. So it ended up working out fine. Obviously, I didn't bring in like a direct competitor, right? I'm like, all right, thanks Arlon for this. And today we're doing the 3M podcast today. Thank you for coming.
Have you seen the guys from Green Valley?
No.
Josh, see if you can find the brothers from Green Valley Window Tint. They're out of Las Vegas. They asked me to be on their podcast this year. It's at SEMA, and it was in the Johnson's booth, like Johnson Window Film. I think it's Johnson. Sorry if I'm botching this up.
And you're wearing your shirt from the show.
I'm in a 3M shirt, like just chopping it up. And I think they used to be a 3M pro shop. So I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, they kind of had people they had all kinds of different people, you know? So it was like, it was a little strange at first. I was going to ask just to be respectful, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a 3M trainer.
Should have just put on more 3M.
I don't think I could have. Already had the hat, the shirt. No, I did have a 3M shirt on, but generally 3M stays pretty low. Like, they're not, their content's good. I like their videos are really good. They have a company that edits their stuff down.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And their setup, their mobile setup was pretty cool.
This is the new yellow.
Yeah, this looks like,
just because that was like, you had to be in the top listing because that's how you got business. And now it's like, the companies that aren't taking the social media seriously,
condenser mics for shows are just brutal, dude.
Else that's already pushing out their organic content, because then you have the entire library. It's I can look back. This guy's been doing it for years.
Good.
So that trust,
the whole setup felt like
you can't beat that.
That's one thing.
You just push them so hard to get the background noise out, and it just
you can hear it. Yeah,
it doesn't sound as
voice distortion.
It's so loud. Sure. It's so loud in there, and it doesn't seem like it until you sit down to a podcast, and then
it's so bad.
Everything.
Yeah, and these mics pick up everything that's behind you too. Like when we did Austin Smith at RapsCon before the show.
Yep.
And towards the end of the podcast, there was people like literally, we were set up where the competition was, right? There was people like behind the first row. So like all the way on the other side of the show. You couldn't even see them on the podcast. And they were like, they must have been moving like racking or something. It was metal. And they were like slamming it down. And it sounded like they were right behind you on the mic. Like I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like it is so loud. But it's literally just they were in the perfect angle. The mic picks up everything that's directly behind you. It was crazy. But that podcast was so good. I was like, I don't even care at this point.
But that's
like,
part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're out, like that's part of the kind of the nuances of doing like a mobile thing. You're just going to run into those sort of things. And
and if you tell them ahead of time, I think people are like pretty understanding. Like we're trying to give you the best content we can, which means we're traveling for it, right? And it's not going to be as crisp and as clean and sound as good or be as loud or maybe not the same volume as we've done before, but it lets us bring on people that like probably aren't going to travel up to
otherwise
Grand Rapids, Michigan to shoot a podcast. So worked out well.
Yeah. No, I that's the part that, you know, when you start thinking about the opportunities for hitting, because there's certain people that you just want to have, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you know what, over time, eventually, I don't know, stars will align and it'll happen. So it's like, we're not planning on stopping anytime soon. So it's like, why not? We'll just wait it out. And, you know, hopefully they'll feel the pressure enough where they're like, God, I got to get up there. I got to do it.
Yeah.
Just make the time and just figure it out and just go do it.
Yeah. It makes it harder when we're on a real strict schedule, right? I'm like, we put an episode out every Monday. Like, live or die, we're putting one out. And so it gets a little bit tighter when you're like,
dicey.
We got nothing going on here. We got to really come up with something.
But you got customers, right? I mean, like you can, at the end of the day, like it's like
customers are weird about coming on too, which I understand, right? Because for them, this is like being on the mic is totally new to most of them, right? Like a lot of times, I mean, most of the people that we've had on are they've never like sat down done a podcast before. I'm sure it's the same with you, right? People are like they're known in the industry, but like they don't go on video, they don't go on mic, like they don't do that type of stuff. So if you get those type of people on, they're like uncomfortable to do it. So I think the customers are usually like, oh yeah, sounds good. Yeah, let's do it. Be like, okay, you pick a date. I'm in. I'm here. Yeah. And then it's just like crickets, dude. There's nothing.
I always use Justin as like an example of it. Because when Justin came on to do the podcast, it wasn't that he was nervous or anything like that, but it was just like, I don't really know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like this is completely out of my wheelhouse. My wife told me I should do this. He's like, I feel like we're going to talk for 12 minutes. This is going to be over.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not, it doesn't really work that way. Like so it's like, I'm almost like trying to like almost explain to him what it is. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was a strange thing.
It depends on the type of person you are too. Like when I'm talking to my wife last night about, I was like, yeah, I'm coming out. This is what I'm doing. Like I told her we were coming to do a podcast, but I was like telling her about it. I was like, yeah, dude, he shoots it like Joe Rogan style, like 2.5 hour long podcast. She's like, what in the world are you going to talk about for 2.5 hours? And be like, I don't feel like I have that much to talk about. So I don't know. I was like, but also I'm pretty good at talking. So we'll probably figure it out by the time we're done. It's like, I kind of do this. So
it's like a time warp in here.
Yeah.
Like you completely forget about it. Cause it's, there's not a whole lot of times that I get to sit down and really just have somebody's attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if we're like just like going out to dinner or something, like you've got all the sounds and you're eating and your phone's going off and you're not really dialed, In here, it's like, man, I'm kind of in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm telling you, the headphones do a whole thing.
They do.
Like it's like everyone's like, do we need to wear the headphones? Be like, you absolutely need to wear the headphones. And we always tell them it's because of audio quality, but they never. We were just joking. About that before you guys started. They're like, yeah. As I was like, dude, you can't hear yourself. I can't hear you either. Like, I don't know what you want me to do here.
I always tell him like it's like Josh would tell me that he was like, just use the fist.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. It's a fist length away. And then the guy, the other guy that's with me, is like, yeah, you have to eat the mic. That's what he means. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. So, but the headphones definitely draw you in.
Yeah. Well, it keps us engaged, right?
Is this a fist length away? Is this a fist?
A little close.
He's eating it.
Yeah, you might want to back up.
But the Green Valley guys, it was a cool experience. I was really glad that I did it. But it was strange because I was really excited about being on the other side because I felt like that was what it was going to be like. Like, okay, sit down. Like I've seen these guys, their stuff before. They're they're engaged. They know the deal. They're podcast hosts. So they, but it was like after a few minutes of just kind of like, it felt like we were kind of at a little bit of a standoff here and there. Okay, so how, you know what I mean? Like it was like a little bit of delay that I'm just not, I wasn't used to. So it was like, all right, well, either I am very uninteresting and you guys have nothing for me, so I just kind of like shifted right into gears to like being back on the other side. And I'm just like asking questions and like filling them out and just, cause that's how
Did you watch it back?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that's how it actually was, or if it just felt that way because you are used to sitting over here, right? Where you like as soon as you can feel like a shift or a slowdown, like you push it along. And some people, I don't think, do that. And so sometimes some of them probably do just have dead spots where they're like, and transition. Next point is, like it just depends on the style of content you put out. It's not as easy, I think, as people are like, oh, it must be easy to just sit down and do a podcast.
Like you talk about like having your questions and being prepared, right? Like I'm a little, there's at times where I'm a little envious of that because it's like, I would, it'd be nice to, just in case we run into a spot where it's like, I've got something prepared, but at the same time, I don't know. I can't remember a time where it was like in the moment where I was like, I just kind of ran out of questions.
Yeah.
I think that's why the podcast works for me, because it's like, I'm just genuinely curious. And we eventually get to this point where it's like, I'm kind of like Forrest Gump or something where I'm like, okay, well, now I know enough. Have a good day.
I have extracted all the information I need from you. We will now move on. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I don't know. Where you hit this wall where and sometimes it's strange because you can feel that there's still some left in them and they're still like, oh, where are we going next? And it's like, no, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Really enjoyed it.
It's hard. Like there's like sometimes I've listened back to some of our episodes and been like, man, like you were talking about it earlier today where you're just like, I just totally missed that point that they made, right? Because you're like, but when you're doing this, you're sitting here and like someone makes a good point and you're like, oh, I need to follow up on that, right?
Sure.
And so you're like in your head, you're like, I already know where I'm going, and then you just completely miss it because you're in the thing like, I need to keep this thing moving along, and then you'll be like, shoot, I should have.
It could be something as easy as somebody like telling, like they're hitting on this thing, like hot topic, and they're like, well, when we're making sales, it's almost like when I'm talking to my dog, right? Like I just got to be so firm and straight to the point. And I'm like, you got a dog? What kind of dog do you have?
This was the point they were trying to make, and you're focused on the other side.
I didn't know you were a dog person. Would have never guessed. Like that's incredible, And so, I've heard it from Graham. I don't know if you've seen the episode we did with Graham Doolan, but he's from Australia. So there was a lot of that with him. It was like, everything was like new. It was like we're
like squirrel.
Yeah, like it's and he was like. He was prepared for it. Like he's been to America enough times where he was like, did you know in Australia, the majority of the population follows the coast? And I was like, I did not know that. Incredible. What about the kangaroos?
It's like the most boring facts to you are just like the most crazy thing.
Oh, really? You guys got tarantulas? I was unaware. He's like, don't sleep. They'll get you. Like, well, I didn't see that coming.
Huntsman spiders.
Yeah. It was
get you.
Yeah. So it was like things like that. Like you just don't, so there's a certain level of it that I enjoy that part of it. So you kind of get on those little rabbit holes, but I do often think about the person that's listening, because Graham was one of them that had mentioned, like, he was like, there's times like you're on a roll and you guys are really getting somewhere. And he was like, then all of a sudden that thing hits and you're gone.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, I'm yelling at the phone, like, go Scott, ask him the question. We need to know. Like, you left us hanging. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, what, we're just rolling with the punches. And see, because there's stuff about you. Like, because it's fun. Like, it's funny because you spend a lot of time on camera and you're doing a lot of content, but that doesn't necessarily mean anybody really knows you or who you are or how you even got there.
And a bunch of people think they know you. I'm sure you've dealt with this too.
Oh,
just be like, oh yeah, I've seen you 1,000 times. Yeah. They'll come up to you like they've known you their whole life. And you're like, I've never seen you before in my life.
The inside jokes are the ones that get me. Like, the ones that really watch the podcast, and then they'll drop the joke and I'm like, how does he know that? And they were like, dude, you said it on the podcast. I was like, oh, dang, that's strange. That's weird.
It'll be like random stuff too. You'll bring up like some random thing like that my kid did or something. And someone will be like, yeah, dude, I thought it was funny. And I'll be like, I was like, did I post something? Did my wife post something? I was like, where
Well,
did this
it just
come from?
happened
And then-
earlier when we
Yeah.
were sitting out on the floor. And
Yeah, they'll be like, you said it like 2 days ago, and it'll be an episode. We were just joking earlier about the Brad episode. It was one that it actually happened like 6 months ago, and they'll be like,
or the
yeah, you just said it this morning, and I'd be like, dude, that was me in January.
the
you know?
GPX thing. You know what I mean? You were like, well, you remember, you did say the thing, and Josh, like, oh no, man,
He never said anything.
You were like, actually, Josh, here's a screen recording of you saying they suck. And it wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
No.
but
It's
it was
one of
funny.
those
He's like,
things.
no, we definitely never said anything. I was like, you definitely did.
But when you're in it and you're in the pocket and you're just chopping it up, like that's again, like I like that. I like the authenticity of it, you know, because even though the cameras are going, like once you get them, people to the point where they forget about it, it's like, okay, this is that person. And that's cool. I think the people that watch the podcast, that's what they come for. They're looking for that. They want to know who that person is. But it's also funny. Josh, he was like, because we've been hanging out all day. He's like, you got anything else left to talk about? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I do, Josh.
So your strategy for getting content for the podcast is great. You're like, yeah, show up at like 10.
Yeah.
And then actually, we're going to record it at 6:30 p.m.
Look, I can't take all the responsibility for this. I asked ahead of time. I was like, hey, do you want to get some lunch? Yeah, definitely want to get lunch. Brisket? Yeah, would love brisket. And so it's like, all right, well, and then, disc golf.
Yeah.
That was, we had.
That was a requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we would have done it first, if we'd have done the podcast first, we would have missed out on the regulator.
Yeah, that's true. We would have had nothing to talk about at disc golf. We probably would have just stared at each other the whole time.
Which really, we didn't have that much to talk about disc golf other than like, oh, we hit that tree again.
Did you guys get the notification? I don't, Josh.
I didn't hear any. I didn't get to say par or birdie very many times today. Just those words just didn't come out.
Limited vocabulary on the
I
regulator.
did a lot of like, okay, in the woods, in the fairway, in the woods, under the basket again, in
You did
5.
way better than me. There was a lot of shit.
I said hockey stick a bunch of times. I knew that. No snowmans though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good time on the course, really. All right. How?
A lot of 6s and 7s.
Jesus. There we go.
I'm not saying it.
So
Please.
I just don't know if it was an Austin Powers reference or 6'7". And that's what bothers me because I really want to believe it's an Austin Powers.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. He's setting you up. Yeah.
It's the worst.
My 4-year-old says 6'7", so it's really
It's ingrained.
it's fully in now. There's
Y'all
no
don't
way
know
to get
where
rid of it.
y'all don't know what it's from.
6s and 7s?
Isn't it from like just one random video or something?
Yeah, it's from a video of. I'm gonna look so stupid if he's trolling me, but Gio told me that it's from when LaMelo Ball
I think this
post
is
game
actually
interview.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I can't remember what exactly he was
I
asked.
think he was talking
but-
about somebody's height. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. He's like
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a scene in Austin Powers where he was like, "Oh, she's all 6s and 7s."
the one that's all 6s and 7s. As she shat on a turtle.
See?
Yep, that's what I think about.
I was.
He was
That's
making
what I was
a 6'7"
hoping for.
reference. He's setting you
I
up.
know. He's baiting me. Is what that was.
It worked though.
It did. He got me. Lured me right in.
It's topical for us, anyways.
You're gross.
You know.
Feels like we're old now. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
We're just old people talking
That's true.
about trendy things. How'd you get into this? How did you end up here?
It's a good question. So obviously I didn't do the introduction, obviously. So Tyler, I work at Wensco Sign Supply, the director of marketing there. But so how it started, my dad worked for Wensco. He's been there 26 years or something like that, something ridiculous. So I was like, all my brothers at the time were working for my dad. And I was like, I'm not going to work for my dad. It's like, no shot, right? So I'm like, I think at one point we totaled up, I think I worked like 12 different jobs between 16 and 19, I think is what it is.
Trying to avoid going to work.
Basically.
With your dad?
Yeah, basically.
Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I did all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we were just kind of bouncing all over the place. And then I ended up being one of the managers at a Sprint store, like Sprint, the carrier.
This is not the first time we've ran into this.
That is,
So tread lightly how
Sorry.
you talk about this.
it's not
because-
funny, but it is. It's not funny that you were
I'm curious on the tread lightly part.
Matt Ferg was one of the episodes Josh was talking about earlier, where, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. But Matt Ferg was in the
he called it communications.
Telecommunications.
Yeah. And
telecommunications is like what do the garbage men call themselves? You know, it's just like a fancy word for saying I work at a phone store.
It's in Half Baked. Dave Chappelle says I'm a
waste management consultant or something like that is what they were calling it. I don't know.
A master of custodial arts, and he was a janitor.
No shade.
You make any title sound good.
Yeah. No shade to Matt Ferg, but it's just awfully funny back to back.
Yeah.
So,
like, what are the chances?
So, anyways,
who would have seen that coming?
The joke is like, I was one of the managers at the Sprint store. There was only 3 employees, so there was 2 assistant managers and then the guy that ran the thing. So literally, I didn't manage anybody. I just managed the little
Sounds like
store.
you were all managers.
Yeah, basically.
3 managers working.
Yeah. I started as not one and then they promoted me to one, but nothing changed. Sure. So
we're all managers.
Anyways, that was absolutely awful. So it was just like, I mean, anyone that's dealt with them before, right? The customer service is horrible, but it's not because of the employees. It's literally like, we physically can't do anything for you.
Yeah,
so
he explained it all to us. He laid it all out.
I was like, just grumpy all the time, anxious, just like customers are going to come in and complain every day. And I was like, dude, I do not want to be here. And
he said the same thing.
And my dad texted me during that time and was just like, hey, we have a position open to do deliveries. He's like, do you want to come and take it? And I was like, I probably looked at it for days, dude. I was probably just like, I do not want to do this, but I also do not want to be here, you know? So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Get out of the way. So did that. Worked deliveries and warehouse for probably...
So your dad is not one of those cats that's like, don't work with family. He's
brought them all in. Yeah.
Bring them all in.
Yeah. So we're all there. I have 2 younger brothers. They both work there.
That's cool.
So they've worked there longer than me, which is funny now because I'm the oldest and they have both worked there longer than I have. But worked deliveries and warehouse for like 3 years. Moved into like a tech role. I was selling like equipment for printing t-shirts. It was like a totally random thing. That was right before COVID. Then kind of everyone got sent home basically. I ended up going back. Basically everything that was salary at the time went to do deliveries because that was the only thing we were doing, right? We weren't out making sales calls. We weren't installing machines. We were literally just like, we need to do the bare minimum to get through this. So I did that through COVID. Then the job that I have now opened up and I applied and I hired somebody else for it and I stayed where I was. Then they ended up firing that guy like 12 months later. So the job opens again, I apply and they hired one of the sales guys to do it. And so then they hired the sales guy and they call me and they're like, hey, we gave it to Ryan and but his job is now open if you want it. Do you want to get into sales? And I was like, absolutely not. And my dad calls me, he's like, you would be so dumb not to take, like, it's
really
like the pay would be way better.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I think you would be good at it. Like you have the ability to do it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So go into sales, did that for like 18 months or so. And then the guy that was in this role moved on. He went to 3M actually. So that's kind of funny. So he works at 3M now. He's been there a while. Well, I've been in this for like 3 or 4 years now. So that long.
Is he in the graphics division?
No, he's in adhesives, I think is what it is.
Okay.
Sells industrial adhesives.
Yeah.
So he's been in there the whole time. So then I moved into this role. That's what I've been doing for like 3 to 4 years. So kind of a long way around to get to where I am now. But it's been cool because I've seen pretty much all sides of the business at this point, right? So I've seen our tech side, sales side, deliveries, warehouse, all that kind of stuff. The only thing I haven't seen is accounting, which I have no interest in seeing. So as long as I can avoid that, I'm good to go, right? So, but it's cool to do like this marketing role after having done sales because I run into this all the time with people in our industry where like when they're marketing something, like I'm like, it's just not going to land. Like, I don't know if you guys obviously haven't met the customers, right? And now a lot of the vendors do a pretty good job now in terms of they bring the marketing people to the shows and it's more like, hey, like be on the floor and like talk to the people that are coming to the booth because if you don't know who the customer is, like this is not just like a Joe Schmo market, right? This is a group of weird people. Like it's nice ways I can put it, right? But it just is, right? There's a lot of very creative people in this industry. So it's not like you're just marketing to like blue collar, just like we go out, we work every day. Like there's a bunch of very creative people. So it's very different from that. And I think a lot of the marketing teams just completely miss the mark. But being out, I was in the field for 18 months doing sales. It went super well. But when I applied to get this job, they were like, what? Literally, my dad called me. I remember just clearly. I was in Menards. Do you guys have Menards here?
No.
So I was in Menards.
Familiar with it. We know what it
So
is.
like a Home Depot if you guys don't have Menards. But anyways, I was in Menards and he calls me. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they told me you applied. And I was like, yeah, this is the third time. Obviously I want the job. He's like, is it not going well? I was like, it's going great, actually. It's like, I just think I would rather do this every day. And he's like, okay, I just think it's not a great move for you financially. I was like, okay, cool. So they end up finally relenting, letting me have the role. And
just persistence, just
If
pounding on.
you just keep applying, at some point they're going to let you in. I think that's if you need any lessons for today, if you're looking to get a job, if you just keep applying for the same job, as long as they don't fire you, eventually they're going to have to give it to you. So,
well, and I think it helps too, losing 3 people within like 2 years in that position. It's like, well, at least this guy wants to be here.
It's going to be like, well, what's the worst going to happen? We got to let another guy go in 6 months. It can't be much worse. So,
do you think that that's intentional? Like, I don't know the internal works of
100%. Yeah.
Like, so for them to kind of bring you up through it, so you have some of that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was too. And there's definitely a part of it. Like my friends always joke like, oh yeah, nepotism's good and well here at Wensco. And I was like, if you had like been there to see it, like it's so weird. Like having been on my side of it, right? Like anytime I applied for them, right? Like my dad is like my direct boss, but anytime I applied, he was not in any of those conversations at all, right? I met with other people at Wensco. When like right before they hired me for this role, I sat down with everybody, right? There's like 6 of them asked me questions and I was like, I don't know. I think I would do okay at this job. That's all I have to go on, right? Like, what was your experience? I don't know. I'm pretty good at selling vinyl. Does that help?
It is. It's privately owned, right? Like it's still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mike's my dad. He's in part ownership now. Judy is the current owner. It was her grandfather that started Wensco. So they started in, blanking on this year. 1937. There we go. Like, wow. So they've been around a minute. Yeah. So it was like her grandfather that started it. We started in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we moved to Belmont, which is like 10 minutes outside of Grand Rapids. So we've been there the whole time. And then they started as one location. We scaled to 8, which 4 of those are since COVID, basically. So
really,
we've doubled
in size?
Location size since 2020.
Earlier, you said something about the t-shirt stuff. Is that a big portion of your business?
It's not a ton.
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, it's really like
because you're a sign supply.
Yeah, it's really like an add-on. Like a lot of our, like Charlie when he was on here, right? And he's talking about when the new people took it over and they added shirts. That's really what we deal with.
I think we need to add t-shirts.
Yeah, it's just like we should do t-shirts, and we're like,
sure.
Okay, well, we sell that equipment too. We're not doing screen print or anything.
Like direct to substrate or something?
Yeah, direct to garment, shirts. Obviously, heat transfer vinyl is right in our wheelhouse.
Parallel,
there. But the one we were selling at the time was a Oki. Well, I'm blanking on this. It's a it's a toner printer that you transfer. So it's like pre-DTF is what it was. Direct to film is what they call it now, I think. Sure. But it was basically that before DTF came out. So a little different, but not a key part of our business at all. But it was cool to see it.
I wouldn't even have guessed that you guys were in that space. And, especially coming from sign, traditional sign stuff and then going into wraps and more digital print.
Yeah. And there's plenty of money in signage. So like we were just, I was at HP before we came here. Right. And they're like, do you guys sell dye sub? And we all just like look at each other and laugh like, yeah. Technically.
Is HP in that space?
A little bit. Yeah. It's a little, they didn't even bring it up. Like we didn't even talk about it because we laughed and we're like we're not going to try and push it. So if you want to try and sell it to us, like, sure. But like, it's not a key part of our business. Epson sells one. So it fits in that line.
Oh, sure.
We sell a couple of them. They make like a 24-inch version. We sell a decent amount of those, but it's all just like home use type stuff. But it's not anything like, I don't think we've put out a single piece of marketing material that was like,
like dedicated.
You want to get into dye sublimation? Sure. Like it's some of the big ones in that space are so different from signage that it's like if you're interested in it and you already do science, sweet. If you're just doing DISA, we're good. I'm sure you already have somebody for that. So,
well, it's math. Like those are a lot bigger operations, right?
Yeah. If you've seen them at ISA and Printing United, they're gigantic machines, right? That are doing these giant reels of fabric, and
it's kind of
cool. Fast. Yeah, it's insane. But it's just a totally different space, right? I think I was talking to you about it earlier, but like we've kind of realized what we're really good at, right? Which is selling sign supplies and delivery, right? So we're like, if you own a sign shop, you're in the Midwest, right? We think we're the best of the best at that for you, right? If you're outside of the Midwest or you're not in signs, but you do some signage, maybe we're not your cup of tea, right? There's other people out there. But what we found is in that space, there's plenty of people to keep us busy. That's for sure.
So I think that's a kind of a cool segue into war. Can we talk? Josh, are you ready for the war talk?
What just happened?
I'm just kidding. No, that was a loaded question. I'm just joking. So war is, I understand. I was trying to bait him. I was trying to get him back.
I understand. So,
do you want to tell what?
Yeah. So we, so Wensco Automotive Restyling, we shorten it to WARS. How we get there. They started it in it's like 2016. So it kind of started the same time we did Arlon's first color change class when they had the original color change. Charlie actually talked about it on his episode, but he came to do that training. I think he's on the list. I came to do the training at Wensco. It's like him, Chad Parrish, Richie, Louis. They were all there to do like this original training that we did way back when.
To take the class? Or
to take it. Yeah, it was like one of the first ones we did. I think Arlon taught the class. I think that's what happened. So I think it was before my time. But anyway, so we started that division to kind of like separate like, hey, this is the automotive side of it, right? It's a little different from signage, which you guys are aware of, obviously. So it kind of started then, and we didn't do a lot with it, right? We segmented it on our website where we had like a war section that was like, hey, here's the color change vinyl tools, all the stuff that people need. But it was really just like it was automotive, and we just renamed it. So we've been looking at doing vinyl by the foot. So that's vinyl by the foot and tools, and shipping them out, right? Because that's, people ask for it all the time. We're like, we don't really have a good way to do it. Like it's not an easy process. You obviously need the volume to get there because you're selling, 6-7 feet at a time. So I need a bunch of customers. So we're working on this.
Just stop.
Wow. I just did that too, didn't I?
You did.
I think you planted that on me.
You're both doing this.
You planted that on my, it's like in my brain.
Did you not do that intentionally?
No.
That is funny.
Oh, that's so bad. I literally did it because the order I saw before I came in here was 7 feet of
it was all glossy
yellow in it. So I was just thinking like, we're selling roughly.
We'll get through this. I promise.
This is brutal.
You're doing, honestly.
Can we start over? Can we start over?
Yeah.
Start from the top.
Yeah. Bring it back. So anyways, so we had this website kind of in the works for a while. This is a space that some of the other players have kind of dominated for a while.
Okay.
But from what we've heard, there's been a lot of complaints on reliability of it, on the quality of the product coming, on how they ship it, how it shows up, all of that kind of stuff. So we're like, well, now kind of seems like as good a time as ever.
Yeah.
The biggest player in the space closed a bunch of locations and then laid off a whole bunch of people this year. So the timing of it was like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. We actually we probably had it done like February of last year. We finished it and we're like, this thing's ready to rock and roll. And they're like, just hold off. And everyone kept getting, all the like Avery and 3M kept getting mad at me because I was like, it's not coming up yet, right? Sure. We had all the stuff planned, right? All this material's coming in. I was like, it's not ready yet. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So we launched it.
Not an easy undertaking, right? I mean, like, no, it's massive.
It's brutal. It's not as easy as signs where I can just bring you a whole box, right? Like it's
even like on the marketing side, like you're trying to communicate like this whole 100% new thing to a whole new audience.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's a familiar space, right? There's a bunch of people that are buying it, by the foot now, at least from other people. So you're like just trying to
convert those guys.
Yeah, you're trying to fit into that space.
Gotcha.
We have a lot of existing customers that were maybe buying full rolls that didn't need them. So for them, it was an easy add-on where it's like, hey, like carbon fiber is a good example, right? Like when do you need 75 feet of carbon fiber, right? When's the last time someone called you and was like, the whole car, I'm doing the whole thing.
Wrap it all.
Give me a whole trailer.
Let's go.
Carbon fiber.
Last year, actually. So it was like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I said, you don't want to do that. Promise you.
I did one for Pirelli a few years ago. It's been actually a long time ago now, but it was a full wrap. It was the F650 like flatbed fender.
Oh, that's funny.
Full coverage front to back.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was brutal because we had to go back and do the overlaid graphics on top of like, the textured 3M carbon fiber.
Yeah, and you have to be really particular about which way you install it too. Which is not fun when you do the front and then go down the sides and then do the back.
I mean,
it's horrible.
From the fenders to the hood.
Yeah.
Like that whole...
Doesn't make it. They're going to complain immediately when they see it.
And it was Pirelli too, so it's like...
Yeah, so he probably didn't even care.
Yeah. They tear everything apart.
Yeah, he was out there with a microscope.
This looks great, but just doesn't line up.
This looks great. Can you redo the whole thing? Yeah, the hood looks fine. Everything else, redo the rest.
Just start at the hood and work your way out.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Can you actually start on the door and then just go all the way around, make it all match? That'd be perfect.
All the way around.
Yeah.
So, you work through those.
Yeah. So we added in that in August of this year. So it's pretty new for us here. So we're rolling with that. We're shipping out orders daily at this point right now. We were talking about earlier, people buying just one roll of knifeless tape. Appreciate that. But that wasn't like the original intention of it. It was like tools are an add-on to the stuff. But actually what's happened is a bunch of the tools have started selling.
So it's a completely different website, everything like that.
Yeah. So it's completely separate from Wensco.
Is it good?
I think so.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want to tell Josh to pull it up.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's get it
up. WenscoAutomotive.com. Okay. You want to pull it up? I hope so. There's only one person on the design team. He's not very talented, so... Oh, my God. It's me.
Oh,
thank you.
Oh, okay.
So it was brutal to get it up
I didn't
and
know
running.
if it was like your brother or something. This was like you're taking a shot at him or something.
So
here we go.
So yeah, wrap tint, PPF, architectural. We're selling the Avery.
Go ahead and click on that tools button. Let's see what's cooking here. I got to see what's going on.
Oh no, you can't do this to yourself.
Bad.
Do you not have it duplicated? You got to watch it from all the way over there, dude. That's brutal.
Well, it's I can, but I don't like. It's complicated. It's complicated.
So
it's probably a fair statement.
So trying to get a pretty well-rounded set of tools. A lot of the tools are ones that we carry for our classes, right? So obviously you want to get duplicates of those. So a lot of the Avery tools, a lot of the knifeless tape. Knifeless tape's been huge.
Knife Tucker doesn't seem to be on there.
We talked about it. We're in the works here, okay?
I just think it's great. I mean, you got room to grow,
Yeah, it's been the funny part is when you guys brought it up, it's like right when we're like we just put in a whole bunch of POs, right? And you guys are like, yeah, you should bring it on. Be like, I'm not telling them we need to spend another $1 right now. Be like, let me get some orders rolling in before I start adding stuff. So currently the color change SW900, but we just added 10 of the Arlon PCC colors that just came out.
Nice.
And then for tint and PPF, that's just 3M. So we have 4 of the tint SKUs and then 100 and 200 series PPF from 3M. So yeah, rocking and rolling a little bit.
Yeah,
obviously some of the colors are still coming in. Turns out when you place an order like that, Avery's like, you know what? Can we give it to you in sections? You're like, sure, that's fine.
I could imagine, right? So that's a lot. Well, then I think about like warehouse space and stuff. Like,
yeah, they weren't real pleased about that section of it, but we got it pretty much figured out. So it's all shipping out of Indy right now. But it's been pretty smooth. I haven't really had any complaints with it. Shipping's going out and getting there. It's kind of funny because like I didn't know how hands-on I was going to have to be. And we literally have like 2 guys working on it. And the orders come in and then I go and check and it's like shipped. And you're like, sweet, dude. Like it's like everything you kind of hoped and dreamed of vision. Yeah. It's like kind of working. So,
hey, it's good to see that you guys sell edge seal tape.
Was that like a joke?
I don't know. I think
no.
No.
Like
you can't find it?
I do a lot of boats and I haven't on Grimco. I haven't seen it. I think they got rid of it.
Probably because they don't care about you.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I really don't.
Sounds like they don't care about you.
But it looks more like Wensco cares about me. So yeah, that's good to know. And it's $11.99.
We'll see. We'll see how much they care. Right, we're watching.
That's true. Listen, I'll bring in
them now.
I'll bring in 1 knife tucker for every roll of edge seal that you buy. Okay,
I think
so. You better start buying some.
It's a steal, really.
Yeah. Next year,
I think this
will be a good year for us then.
Yeah.
4 rolls of edge seal and 4 knife tuckers sold. It's really going well.
2026 is looking up, guys. I think
there's plenty of time. You can, if you want to order in bulk, I can figure that out for you too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking to add some stuff. There's some stuff that are in the works too in terms of more colors. Obviously, the 2080 colors have been kind of in the works for a while. We're just trying to get between Avery and 3M, where there's like 220 colors, right? Like putting 220 rolls on the shelf is just, that's
insane.
Not feasible at this point. So we'll get there.
PWF, are you carrying any of the PWF?
So we Wensco carries PWF. We haven't added it. It is on the list to get added.
Okay.
But I assume it might just be a Midwest thing too. Yeah, it's a lot, but it might be a Midwest thing, right? Because most of the stuff we sell now is in the Midwest. PWF hasn't been huge here, but the other vendors and distributors that we've talked about are like, oh yeah, dude, we're selling a bunch of it. And be like, I don't know if it's market specific or something. Same with PPF. Like we should do better with PPF with all the salt and rocks and all that stuff that we have in Michigan, but it's not a huge market up by us either.
But it's still a relatively new product for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I think from a marketing standpoint, I mean, that's got to be kind of a good thing because then it seems like you've got all that room to grow and to travel and like maybe you know what I'm saying. Like,
well, let me tell you, marketing a product like PWF is one of the more difficult ones, right? When you're like, look how sweet this thing is, and then they just click and get to the checkout the cart page, and they're like, did I click on the wrong page here? You sent me the wrong spot. But
it's come down a little bit, right? We've seen
100%.
We've seen some price drop.
Significant drop in the last few months. So if you haven't checked it lately, I would definitely look. But yeah, it's just one of those that I think there's some sticker shock. But it's it's one of the products that there's a lot of explanation needed, right? Like when you talk about it, like the install's pretty similar. Like if you're familiar with 2080, I think you could get it down, but it's not the same, right? Like you're not like, oh, just if you've done this before, grab this and use it. It'll work perfectly fine. So I think there's some education that's needed, which for us is just a long stretch, right? Like I can only give you bits and pieces of information at a time unless you're going to sit down through a 2.5 hour podcast and we can explain it all to you. But a lot of times it's just a slow process, right? Like even when we brought on PPF, right? We probably didn't sell a roll for months, right? Where you're just like trying to get some education out there to customers like, hey, here's what it is. This one, it came out obviously a while ago. But yeah, it's a bit of a slow process for some of that stuff, but we're working on that. Obviously the 3M colors, we have access to all those. Working with, I don't know if you've seen any of the Metamark stuff. We've been working with them for a little while. They have a color change film that's actually super smooth when we've tested it. So that's
Brad Felty wrapped his truck in some like some brown stuff, and it looks pretty sick.
I just saw his truck too. We were in his shop last week, 2 weeks ago, I think. It looks great.
Josh, you want to see if we can get a shot of that Felty truck?
It's great. It's pretty sweet. I wonder did he post it? I feel like I didn't see it.
100%.
I don't even remember seeing it.
I know that's how I would. That's the only way I would have seen it because I'm not going. Oh, I say that actually I was up there not long ago. So yeah, that's not.
He showed me a picture, so that's how I remember I saw him
Maybe that's how I
saw him at GPX Indy in whatever that was, March or April, and I knew he was working with Metamark, so I talked to him at the time. I was like, "Yeah, wrap my truck," and showed me pictures. I was like, "Dude, it's pretty sweet." But yeah, when we tested it, I don't consider myself an installer by any means, but I played with enough film that you can give me a sheet and I'll put on a hood and be like, yeah, this is good.
It's not like the most highly complicated.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of their, I think especially like excluding the gloss, a lot of their satins and mattes they're super clean.
Yeah. That's a good looking ride, man. He crushed that.
Yeah. I recognized him right away. We met him for dinner when we were in Indy and pulled into the parking garage and his truck's just sitting right there. I was like, yep, I've seen that one before. Yeah, know where this is.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet. Not as sweet as your truck out there though.
I know. I tried telling him, I was like, dude, you're just going to have to get on my level.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice looking ride out there.
It's a 03 model.
Brand new then. Just right off the lot.
50,000 miles.
That's pretty good though.
Pretty proud of it. It's actually my dad's truck.
It is telling that you were like, so you want to take your car?
Well, it was either that or I was unloading boxes. I was like, man, I am not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which,
we had to manually unlock my car and roll down the windows to get in. So it wasn't super smooth either.
Oh, it was cool.
I think the cold's messing with my key fob, like to unlock my truck. Or maybe the battery's going dead.
No, mine the rental just doesn't have a electronic lock. It's just all the key.
Yeah.
I feel like I was picking him up at the high school parking lot. I had to reach over and unlock his door.
I was looking for those crank window things.
No,
They did. They have crank windows. If you didn't see him in there,
I
No,
was.
you need to get the full experience of Pop's truck.
Oh yeah,
You know, moving everything. You know, all
it's a full thing.
all the crap, and then riding and potentially
Problem is-
breaking down
Yeah,
or
making
running
it
out of
or
gas.
you don't have anything good to say about it. That's what's concerning me about it. But it looks good sitting out there in the parking lot. So
It's a ride.
That's really all that matters.
that's all that matters.
It's an experience. It's kind of like people pay a lot for experiences.
I agree.
So
Should just wrap in that high gloss hot rod red, dude. It'll look like a new truck.
I've honestly been thinking about PPF in it.
It's pretty good. They have a really good red.
Yeah, you're gonna want to
That-
protect the paint on that bad boy.
You
my,
should.
My thoughts
It's
are
brand new.
like if it ever gives out, like I would want to keep like the hood because I think it looks cool because it's
With a
whatever. It's like a patina
discoloration,
look.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just kind of want to. I just want to PPF it. I think I don't know.
This might be the dumbest conversation on this particular podcast.
Whatever.
I
The
disagree.
whole thing.
But you have a picture of that truck to put up here?
Probably.
No.
He's gonna have to pull up the security cameras from outside. That's the only picture they have. But
Let's go back to working with your family. So you made the joke about, people giving you a hard time, and obviously you don't genuinely feel that way, as far as like you getting special treatment but how is that dynamic? And has he always been in some sort of ownership role or?
no, so I don't. The timeline of it is. I should just ask him sometime because I don't know what the timeline is. I don't think he was in ownership when I came over.
Oh, okay.
So he was director of operations when I took over. So he oversaw warehouse, all that kind of stuff. And that role kind of shifted. His title actually never changed, which was kind of funny. But then he kind of came over sales and marketing, all that stuff, just kind of slowly over time as we changed people in and out a billion times, it felt like. So, but no, it's been really good, surprisingly. But I think it's just the way our personalities work. We always make a joke, and he always laughs when he hears me say it. But I was like, anyone that thinks like, oh yeah, it must be nice work for your dad. And I always joke like, yeah, you haven't worked for him, obviously. So, it's just different, right? Like, he always makes a joke that my brothers used to go home and complain to my mom because dad was being mean to them at work. That was like his running joke. But yeah, like sometimes like, we've had meetings too before where like you just have to know that like the expectation on you is different than just like a Joe Schmo employee, right? Like it's like if you're going to go in and do the bare minimum, like people are just going to start mumbling and complaining about it, right? And so if you're going to show up late, leave early, which like I'm not saying I don't do those things, like but if you're going to do those, like you're going to need receipts for why you're able to do that, right? So that's gotten easier now with the amount of travel that I do, right? Where like if somebody was like, yeah, Tyler, just keep showing up late and leaving early, be like, yeah, you want to be on the road,
Sure.
75 days this year? Like, that sounds great. Go ahead. You can do it and I'll sit at your desk. You know what I mean? But otherwise, it's been good. Both my brothers work there. We get along super well, hang out outside of work. If I was home today, we'd be watching the Lions game. It's probably starting soon.
Yeah.
I'd be there. It's actually funny. There's probably like 15 people from Wensco that are all watching the Lions game right now. So it's kind of been like a lot of the people in like warehouse, delivery drivers, that kind of thing. It's kind of turned into like a thing where it's like before I don't think any of us ever hung out outside of work, and now a bunch of them play disc golf. That helps too. I'm not gonna lie. So we throw some discs pretty regularly with them. They don't work Fridays. It's really been a drag when they're like, so you want to come play today? Like, dude, like it's the middle of the day Friday.
You work Friday. And
yeah, the delivery drivers, most of them work Monday through Thursday out of our corporate office. So Friday they're off, and they're always like, "Oh, you want to play?" I'd be like, "Dude, especially like on a travel week, you
Sure.
like get back and you're like, I got to catch up." And he'd be like, "You want to play?" I'd be like, "Can we play at like, I don't know, 5, 4? Like, give me something. Like it's having me get through the day, dude."
Yeah. I don't want to piss dad off. I can't leave.
Yeah, dude, it's just like I gotta get some work done. Like
Sure.
that's how it feels. I mean, obviously with this trip today, it was a very productive day that we had.
Yeah.
But
I think we crushed it.
besides that, yeah, we hit all the goals for the day, so it was pretty smooth. But no, literally, it's been smooth. I don't think for everybody that would be the case to work with their family, but for us, we haven't really had any issues.
So it's interesting that you refer to it as the corporate office, but it doesn't sound like your traditional corporate
Oh,
environment.
not even close.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you've seen any of our videos,
Right.
there's nothing corporate about what we do at Wensco.
I mean, even like your dad, like he's in the videos, like he cuts up, like it's like
Yeah, he's a character, so that obviously helps. You know,
it puts off a lot of like small business vibes, but it's a big business.
So we joked about it too, like when we started, like what the dress code was when we started at Wensco. And I think I said it in like, it might have honestly been like the first episode of the podcast where I joked that like our policy for salespeople used to be like khakis and polos, right? Like you had to be khaki and polo at least to go into a shop. And I made a joke that like, dude, I've been in hundreds of sign shops, dude. If I wore jeans and a t-shirt, I'd be overdressed in 90% of the sign shops I go into, right? Like the people that you walk into, like these people are just working with their hands all day, right? They're wearing, like, you're lucky if something doesn't have holes in it, the jeans or the shirt, or if they're even wearing a shirt in the first place. You know what I mean? Like it's just a totally different atmosphere, right? I mean, if you've been in a neon shop, dude, it's like a whole different environment, dude. It's like a different planet if you've walked into those things.
Dude, when we hit the road a couple of years ago to New Orleans, I was going around different shops and just, putting my name out there if anybody needed installs. And I walked into one shop and there's a guy sitting at the counter, and I let him know who I was and why I was there. And he was like, "Oh, let me get so-and-so. This isn't my business. I have another business." I was like, "Okay." And then this other guy that comes out, wife beater, gym shorts,
He's the guy.
no shoes on, vinyl like stuck all over him, like, and he's got a razor blade in his hand. I'm like,
no blade holder though, just the blade by itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
No shoes, huh? He's like, "Oh yeah, free."
We have a guy.
It's like, what in the heck, dude?
He probably doesn't listen, but if he does, I still think it's funny. But anyways, we have a guy that has he's got a shop dog, right? But it's like it's an Australian Shepherd, right? Not like a short, like you guys had the little Frenchie pug walking around here, but like
Finley.
a relatively like long haired dog, and this dude is laying vinyl all day, and I'd be like, dude, you gotta have at least a dozen dog hairs in your work all day. I was like, how do you even work around? His dog's always there. It's like, you hear him as soon as you open the door, you can hear that sucker just coming around. And be like, dude, I don't know how you even function with that. Like, if I brought my dog to work, I get nothing done all day. My dog would be driving me nuts the whole time. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just a totally different environment. So it's kind of funny.
So do you, when you're marketing, like you're putting together stuff, those are the people that you're marketing to.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, does that have an impact on like how you're putting it? Like, are you thinking about, I mean, I guess you have to be, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have a talk with my, I have two people on my team. And a lot of times we're putting like emails and stuff together, and we're going through this, like I think we just have to back up, like, who is this going to, right? Like put this out, like put it on the board. Who is this supposed to go to, right? And will this resonate with them, right? If we're like, some of the stuff we get from some of our vendors, right? Super corporate, right? Yeah. It's like this very formal writing, and be like, if you saw this, like, does this resonate with you in any way, shape, and form? If the answer is no, like it's not going out. Like, we're not going to send out emails that are just like, hey, check out this new high-tech printer that does really cool things. Be like, that's cool. Do they care about those things though? Right. If not, then no, like I don't need to put it out.
Is it just trying to avoid like the spam? Like you're just not trying to like...
Yeah, it's like, you just have to, I treat all the emails like we're only going to get to send a certain amount of these a year, right? So I'm not going to send any out that are like just mediocre, right? I don't need people unsubscribing because a vendor was like, we need you to send this specific thing. And be like, if it's not going to work, like I don't want to put it out. But you have to understand who it's going to and what purpose it serves, right? Like sometimes, like 3M does this sometimes where they'll put out like these super flashy graphics, right?
Easy, don't call
I know.
Red, all right, come on.
They know. We told them.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
But like even when they came out with the new ones and they had the vans that were wrapped, you know, like the red, green, blue one. Yeah. And like some of them were just like, I don't know what the wording was, but it's basically like if you just put like 3 vans in there and you're like, wrap. You're like, okay, like what am I supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's like the slogan was like "Wrap fast" or something like that. Like
that's what it was.
Very like,
and like I understand what they're doing, right? Because they came it out and it's like this is 40% faster than the previous film, right? Yeah. So like I understood it, but you're like when someone sees this, right, and this is their first impression on 280, you're like, this doesn't mean anything. Like wrap fast. But like, cool. I already tried to do that, you know? Like, it's like
and if they don't have a comparison,
Yeah.
right, like speed becomes really relative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think one of the best things about 280 is the solvent barrier.
Yeah.
Barely anybody talks
Nobody talks about
about
it.
it. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to make a selling point, the guy that's got a Roland or an Epson that's just going straight to lamination, they should probably just take a look at the solvent barrier and
Yeah.
like, you know, there's some benefits there that could potentially, you know, if you're having some saturation issues, that might help a little,
Yeah.
you know, make it a little easier.
But I do think a big problem with this industry is so many of the new products are like, they're like, hey, we have a specific problem we're trying to solve and we've made a solution for it. And then
Sure.
the marketing team gets a hold of it and we're like, okay, I understand your 3 paragraphs you gave me about why we made this product. I need this in like 2 words. And then they're like, wrap fast. And you're like, sweet. Okay.
Nailed
So
it. Send it out.
yeah, exactly.
Send it to everybody.
Ship it. It's going to work.
Yeah.
We're going to crush it.
You remember those vans? Use that.
Bring back those vans. Can we get those things doing donuts in the parking lot?
Oh, man, that's going to be gnarly.
So, but a lot of times it's like, it just needs, like, you need that long form explanation.
Sure.
And if you don't get it, which a lot of people aren't going to sit down and
Right.
understand it, then you, like, it's just not going to hit, right? Which is what, like, that's what trade shows are for, right? This
Sure.
is what podcasts are for. This is what videos are for.
Well,
And
we
if you're-
talked about it earlier that some of the content you've been doing here lately, like the 2 Minute Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like I didn't catch on to it that they're not actually 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're
right?
really sucking people in. Yeah.
But I enjoyed that content. Like I think it checked all the boxes of like, okay, he's about to cram a lot of good information into
Yeah.
a short amount of time. And like I'm not in the market to buy a printer.
Yeah.
But like I found myself like listening to you run through these stats and I'm like, interesting. Okay. Was that 2 minutes? That was good. That was good. We covered a lot of ground right there.
We had I can't remember who came up to me at one of the shows and was like, I can't remember what his shop name is, but anyways, he's like, yeah, dude, I've been watching your 2 Minute Tuesdays. I was like, sweet. Hopefully you enjoy them. He's like, yeah. The one you put out was like 10 minutes last week. I was like, yeah, that's my bad. He's like, dude, I was watching the video and at some point I was like, I feel like 2 minutes have gone by. And I said, look down and I was at 4 minutes. There was still 6 minutes left in the video. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. When we sat down originally, the plan was to do it in 2 minutes. It just, doesn't always work out.
That's good though, because it means retention's good.
Yeah. Yeah. We suckered him in.
Yeah,
That's what we're going for.
It's a hook, line, and sinker. It really, because like I said, if you can cover all that, I mean, especially with printers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much information, but I think it's a cool way to do it because, in somebody's mind, if you're like, all right, welcome to 30 Minute Tuesday, I'm going to crank 30,
Yeah.
nobody's going to watch that. They're going to be like 30 minutes. I got to scroll.
Yeah.
I got to roll on here. I can't.
It's hard. I mean, we're in a super TikTokified media consumption, right? Where like if you don't grab them right away, they're moving on, right?
Checking out.
You've seen any of these? I mean, you have kids too, but like if you see any of these kids on TikTok, dude, they're scrolling so fast. I don't know how they're seeing how do they even decide to pause, dude? They don't even get a word out. They're just like swipe, 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 swipe. You're like,
And it
how
could
in
be
the
like
world?
colors and sound, but I'm bad about it too. Like as I'm taking in content, if somebody says the wrong thing, I am instantly out.
Yeah.
Like they could lose me over something so stupid.
I find myself like really struggling with like if someone puts out content that right, and like you get to the video and then you like get to even remotely a slow spot and I swipe away and I have to like do the mental note that's like go back. Like, you need to finish the video.
I've done the same thing.
So like
It's a thing.
yeah, it for sure is. Like
Yeah.
you're just so used to just swiping away. So you're like, we need to give them as much information as fast as possible, right? Like a lot of times when we're doing these videos, we're like, I want anything that's important to be in the first 30 seconds, right? If that interests them and they want to hear the rest, sweet. But a lot of times it's like, okay, what's the most important thing? Lead with that. And then hopefully they'll stay wrong for the whole ride.
So I think you're doing good. So this next portion, just keep that in mind that I say I think that you're doing good.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Did you have any marketing experience prior?
No. So the joke when I started was I had this is gonna be a funny background story, but I'll tell it anyway. So before I took the marketing job, I had posted videos on social media for like a while. And it was all like just random stuff, right? At one point I was like helping with this like Michigan Subaru thing, right? It was like a whole car page that we ran and then I just completely abandoned it. Went super well, right? And then I was like, I don't want to do it, right? And then got into this thing making, I had a whole bunch of fish tanks at one point. Like at one point I had like I don't know what the total is, but it was like 45 fish tanks at one
What?
point in my house. It was a little bit excessive.
Are you still a fish guy?
No, I don't have any right now. So that's what's crazy. So, but I was doing that for a while, making a bunch of content for it, and just like got hooked on like making the content. Dude, that was like what was
For the fish tanks?
yeah. So, but then it was like but then I was just hooked on like the physical making of the content.
Yeah.
So then like after the fish tanks went away, I was like, dude, I gotta do something. And
Where am I
I
gonna
like
get my
couldn't-
fix?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it literally was.
I gotta make this thing.
Like, dude, I gotta come up. I need a new hobby or something, dude. Right?
Yeah.
Can't do disc golf because I can only make content for like 3 months out of the year, and then it
Sure.
snows, so
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So we're just like kind of around, and my dad's like, "Yeah, marketing job's open." I apply, and my dad's like, "Well, he knows how to make videos at least. Like, he obviously has enough experience to do that." So it's kind of funny. That was like my experience with marketing was that I had built websites for a company when I was coming out of high school, so I had a little bit of experience on that side of the business, but not a lot. We worked with
Do you ever feel like worried or concerned or anxious?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like I just had a meeting when I flew out. I met with a company that does like they help run like email campaigns, right? And sometimes they just will be like, "Yeah, what's your?" and then just give you like a random 3-letter acronym, right? And you're just like, explain. I don't know what you're talking about, right? Like, understand. I did not come from this industry, right? Where I come from is like, I have a pretty decent background in sales. I know that part of it. So you're like, how do I translate what it would be like to be in front of a customer and put that in a form that's in video or in email or just on the website in general, right? Like, what do we put in front of people that will actually convert? But in terms of like traditional marketing experience, not a lot. Which probably it isn't a surprise to most people when they watch your stuff and be like, "What in the world are you doing?" Dude?
Well, yeah, but I don't. That's where it's interesting. Is it's like that's why I wanted to say that first. Like, I think you're doing a great job because it isn't traditional marketing.
Yeah.
But it also it is. And it's strange because when you're watching it, it's like it really seems like you know what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? And I mean that in the best way. I don't
So
mean it like
what I think is funny with it too is so we've been putting out just like these off the wall videos. Like if you've seen Christmas in July, you should. Well, 12 Days of Christmas. Josh, pull up, go to Wensco and then shorts, look up just like, look up 12 Days of Christmas and I'll show you the video that we'll put on the screen. But
platform?
on YouTube.
On
Sorry,
YouTube, yeah.
I didn't say it. It's in the shorts section, but if
You
you,
did say
search
shorts, but I did.
it. Anyways, we've just been putting off like these off the wall videos that are like so non-corporate, so like random. We do a real good job making fun of ourselves, right? And it's just like, this is who we are, right? Like if you vibe with this, sweet. Like we're happy to do business with you. If you don't, which probably a lot of people don't, you're probably not watching our videos anyways. So at this point, like it's not gonna hurt me, right? Yeah. Like we always joke that we're like, are any of our big customers seeing this video? Be like, none of the big customers are even looking at videos, right? Like they're so busy doing whatever they want to do. They don't even want to look at it, right? So we're like, what do we do well? We do real well in small to medium sized sign shops, right? That's like our kind of like our close pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're a sign supply distributor based out of the Midwest, do really well. So go to see if you can find, you'll know right away. It's a picture of a guy wearing like USA overalls. That's what you're looking for when you. I wonder if
I've seen this guy.
that go up two more. That right there.
12
Nope,
days
down one.
Mega Mike or Mega Mix.
Yep. Do that one and then scroll to like it's like the 7-minute mark probably in this video. That's a great video though too. Keep going. I think it's 11. I think it's day. We made fun of a certain distributor here. You can guess who it is by the video. You probably already know. You're welcome. And they called us and said that video was hilarious. So that was even better.
Thank you to you.
All previous keep going. It's
Today. On sale. Get it while you can.
Oh yeah, go show the beginning of the video.
This is
Just watch the video.
Oh.
no, not the whole video.
No, not the whole thing. This video is 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do we have any more? Looks like we have a big sale coming. Logistically, these are cheap. 360.
That's your dad though, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of this video.
Let me call you back. Look at this. I told you, no UPS deliveries. I only want Wensco trucks.
Did someone say Wensco truck deliveries?
So good.
3M IJ180 on sale today only. You can keep getting it from the
So anyways, this certain distributor that we're making fun of in here for shipping absolutely horrible boxes.
Ho, ho, ho.
a bunch of their people thought the video was super hilarious because obviously they deal with a bunch of complaints.
Ho, ho, ho.
But this gives you an idea, right? There's a different video in this mix too where he's wearing these USA overalls. It's like the most ridiculous video. People still reference it to this day. We're like, dude, you got to bring back the overalls. Be like,
Sure.
But then everyone also like makes fun of us for it and be like, well, the joke is like people are talking about it, which is not true for anyone else. So yeah, that's what we're trying to be like. This is who we are, right? If this is cool, sweet. I'm happy that you guys like it. If you don't like it's okay. It's working pretty well for us right now. So, but what I think is interesting, like if you talk to them like at the 3M booth at SEMA, right? In the video that, what's the guy that's from Canada?
Phil.
3M?
Phil
Ackman?
It could be. I met him there for the first time. I had no idea who it was. But anyways.
Little short fella, blonde hair. No?
Taller dude. They just shot a video that was like super like way more casual. I don't think the video's come out yet, so you probably can't show it. But they showed us clips of it. We're like, hey, we're doing like these customer interviews. They took him out on like these like dune buggy looking things and ripped around, and the dude almost threw up. It was awesome. The video's great. The back end video, you're not going to see that part of the video probably, but the part they showed us is hilarious. But he's like, yeah, we're doing a whole bit where like I pretty much have free range to go, and we're going to shoot content with customers, and it's like super casual, super
Kevin.
like, yeah.
Kevin.
Yes.
God, what is Kevin's last name? I always want to say De Silva, but I don't know if that's how you say it. But Kevin, yeah, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
It's Tan
Yes.
Kevin. Okay, yeah.
So he shot that video, and I was like, and all I was thinking about the whole time when he's doing that, I was like, so you guys are going back like the other direction, right? Like it's like super corporate. Like 3M doesn't put out a lot of videos because I think they.
Who was the video? Do you remember who he did the video with?
No, it's some dude that's got a big following on YouTube. From what I understand,
Okay.
I didn't recognize him.
in the rap industry.
What? Yeah, it was Wensco Sign Supply. That's who he's talking about. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, but it was no, it's like like an automotive guy.
Okay.
I guess he like builds cars or something like that. I don't know the whole context of the story. At some point, you'll probably see the video and then know. But I think he's getting into like tint or PPF or something. So that's how they got introduced to it.
Got it.
But anyways, they're doing like these way more casual videos than we've ever seen from them before, like customer experience style videos. And I was like, so what we kind of, obviously we were way on the other end of the spectrum, right? Where we're going like as casual as humanly possible. Sure. But I think everyone else has been like more rigid and more like structural. Be like, hey, we have these items on sale. Come get them today. Great. Okay, sweet. And nobody was making that kind of, like, that's all we heard. The first year we did the 12 Days of Christmas videos, that's what everyone was like, nobody does this. Like, nobody is making this type of content. So when it came out, everyone was like, this is awesome. Like, nobody does this right now, right? Like, nobody's out here just making weird videos. Clearly doesn't care what other people think, which may or may not be true, but we can at least pretend. So, but it's been a riot to do them. Like, that's what we'll do. When I get back next week, we're going to shoot 11 more of that same style video you just saw. Like, that's what I'll do. And we'll get in a rhythm by the end. And some people think they're funny, but we'll think they're hilarious when we shoot them. So it's
so just in talking with you, like I watch and I'm listening, you know what I mean? And like, even like we were talking about cooking earlier and you were like, oh yeah, here, hang on a second. Here, I got and this is how I do it. And like pulled it up like instantly. Yeah. And like had like your list and your breakdown. Even when you talk about the podcast, you talk about like, you know, you want your questions and stuff like that. So does all that kind of translate over into the media stuff as well? Like,
yeah, I wish it translated better, which maybe that's kind of one of the goals for 2026 is we joke, like one of our vendors literally just sent me like their entire marketing calendar for 2026. Mm-hmm. So like, here's everything we're going to do for the rest of the year. And I was like, how does anyone have time for this, dude? Like the whole year? Like you're that committed to this?
Well, they you know, a lot of the big guys have like dedicated, you know, marketing departments,
which is
with
fair.
Teams and like, you know.
Well, it's this one that doesn't have a huge team, I don't think. I have to find out. But yeah, they sent it out for the whole year. And I was like, man, I wish we were that far. Like we have all our events planned for next year, right? So all that's already done. So that's literally what we schedule the whole year around, basically, is like all the shows, all of our open house events, and then all of the trainings that we do, basically. Like if you put all those on a map, then it's like, okay, here's our, 20 free weeks that we have that aren't events, right? Because it's a lot of the content is me, right? So if I'm traveling for a show, it's just me recording them. So like 2 Minute Tuesdays, right? Some of the times we're like, dude, we got to get like 5 or 6 of these done because I'm not gonna have time to do another one. So
But
you'll notice like a bunch in a row where I'm wearing the exact same shirt, and you'll be like, they clearly shot all these in one day.
Yeah, but I wouldn't remember it.
Nobody would, but
7 days later, you know what I mean? Like it'd be hard.
We did get someone
really
on the podcast that was like, do you guys ever change your clothes? Because we shot like 3 episodes in one day. So like literally, and we at the time we weren't doing 2 Minute Tuesday, right? So when they opened the channel, there was 3, like the first 3 videos were all the last 3 podcasts that we had done. And all 3 of us were wearing the same shirt and all 3 of them. Like, dude, do you ever change? And be like, so then that was the joke. Anytime now that we shoot more than one video, we try and bring a change of clothes and we'll reference it. Like, it's like, well, I'm glad I wasn't wearing the same clothes from the last episode. That would have been embarrassing. But literally, it's just us like literally switching a shirt right before we get back on. But yeah, nobody notices.
You think about that sort of thing though. You know what I mean? Like you were like kind of making the joke, like, you know, oh, we don't care what they think. But at the same time, it's like, you know, there's a portion, like it's hard to like 100% let your hair down and just be like completely vulnerable. And like, you know, especially Wensco, like I said, Wensco's on a small organization. So, I mean, it's like, you know, there's a give and take there.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Even when we went to start the podcast, right? When like that idea came up, everyone's like, that's the most ridiculous idea. Why in the world would we start a podcast? Be like, hear me out though. Hear me out. I think it will work. And we're like, how much is it going to cost? Then I give them that number. Then it's even more of a no. You know, like, yeah, here's all the equipment that I need. And they're like, what is wrong with you? Be like, oh, I think it's going to work. And so then like after, it basically was like before we ran the Christmas promotion, I was like, I think we should do it. And then the Christmas promotion went well. And I was like, okay, well, like, do I have a little more leeway now that this went well? Like, can we try it? And they're like, okay, get the equipment. And then like, let's just try it and see if it works. And if it works, sweet, we'll put it out. If it doesn't, let's not do it. So we get the equipment, and literally like the day it shows up, we're just like sitting in the office. We plug everything in, plug the mics in. We're sitting there making sure everything works, right? And we're just sitting there and we're like, okay, if we were to do a podcast, how would we do it, right? And we just start talking, right? And then it's like 36 minutes later, we've been talking, and we're like, did we just do this?
Episode 1.
That's literally how it happened. Like literally we're like, did we just do this?
That's cool.
And Rick, who edits the video, he's like, I think it would work. He's like, I mean, it's episode 1, right? You're not going to get a ton of people to tune in, but like we just went through like, here's why we think we should do this. Here's how it would work. I think we should bring on guests. I think we should bring on customers. And then we get done and we're like, I don't know, it's kind of an episode. And then they're like, I think it'll work. And we put out the first episode and people are like, oh, good idea. And then we're like, sweet, let it rip, dude. And we haven't missed an episode. It's been 95 weeks on Monday that we'll put out episodes.
I don't think people understand how hard that is. Like,
it's insane. Yeah. In terms of, especially like with the 3 of us that are on there and what our travel schedules are, sometimes you're like, dude, we got to put out 2 or 3 episodes, right? And so we try and bulk record as much as we can, right? So like if I know we're both in the office for the week, I'll try and get all the guests to come in, right? Be like, I got 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, right? We're just going to rip through these things. But it's really hard to stay on top of it. And you're looking at the schedule, you know, and someone drops and you're like, shoot, this didn't, like even coming into this week, I was like, oh, we're recording some, so we'll be good. And then like we get to the week of and I was like, shoot, we miscounted somewhere. Like I'm not here and we need to put an episode out. And we're like, okay, well, get somebody. We're going to pull somebody in here and do it. So it's definitely hard. It's hard to stay on schedule.
How did you do that this week?
So we do some that are no guest. Like we'll just do like the 3 of us at Wensco, right? And we'll just talk about like, we literally did like a, like kind of not like a what's new, but like here's what we're working on here at Wensco, right? Like if you're not familiar with what we've had going on, we haven't had just us on in a while. Here's what's like new, right? We're working on these. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you do that at HP?
No, we did that the week before.
The week before, okay.
We literally recorded it and then ripped all the equipment down and put it in that suitcase in the back. So
was that the one for this week? So you were kind of like preloading? Okay, I gotcha. So your one that we'll do next week is the one that you did at HP?
No, well, we recorded 2 that week, basically. So we're like 1 and then 1 that will come out on Monday because I haven't even sent them the files for the one that goes out for HP. So they'll get those on Monday and edit through all those and put it out the following Monday.
So we talked about a few things there that are all pretty challenging. It sounds, I mean, like, you know, talking with, you know, going to people and asking for permission to do stuff. And then once you get into it, like the nuances of just learning something new.
Yeah.
And like, with the marketing world, what do you think is like the most challenging? Like, what's your...
That's a good question. Depends what you're trying to do, right? Like, so for us, like content is like the pillar basically that we put everything else around, right? Like even our emails are based around content. Like we're shooting videos knowing what emails are coming out and being like, we know that video linked in email works better than nothing or just pictures linked, right? So for us, the hardest part is just when you come up with ideas for videos to put out, every week or podcasts to put out every week, and then just like actually physically doing them, right? Like sometimes, like at RapsCon is a good example, right? We're like, oh, I think we should shoot like these videos while we're at RapsCon, right? And sometimes it's not comfortable. It's not a good time. It's not convenient. There's people in the way, and you have to look like an idiot, right? Like you're the guy walking around with a phone and a microphone on, and be like, hey guys, welcome to another video. Like that's what the guy that's with me always makes fun of. Like, hey, thanks, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Nobody wants to do that. But like when it's working, you just have to like be like, okay, we're just gonna power through this. And I think like making content, especially in those types of scenarios, is like that's the hardest part of it, is making when it's so inconvenient, right? It's like the HP one, super uncomfortable, right? It's like, hey, we're only gonna be here for 2 days and we need to shoot 8 videos. And there's 4 other people involved, right? Meaning like you have to be like, hey, I'm not the one to tell people what to do, but like we're on a schedule here, right? Like I need these videos done, right? So like here's what I need from you. Here's what I would like. Shoot the video. And then you also have to be comfortable enough that like when they do it and it's like, this is not going to work, right? You have to be able to be like, we got to do it again.
Run that back.
Right? And that's not me. Like I'm so like historically non-confrontational, right? So like I don't want to be like, oh, I never want to be an inconvenience, right? That's kind of like the thing I have to get around is like, I don't want to be in the way or bothering somebody or slowing somebody's day down or literally like ripping a whole day out of their schedule, which is basically what we were doing when we were at HB. But it's part of the game, right? Like that's what you have to do, and you have to get comfortable doing it.
3M's guy, Patrick. Have you met Patrick?
I saw him just doing the guy that did the SEMA videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really funny because he's really good at being that guy, but like almost like too good sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, okay, so that was one take.
Yeah.
All right, but we're going to do that again. Maybe this time we're just going to make it good. We're not even like, there's not going to be a whole lot of...
Just going to make it good. Yeah.
And like, there's times like he goes to his little spiel and I'm like, did he just roast me? Is that what just happened? Like, it was a total burn.
The Rick who edits our videos, he edits the podcast too for us, but we always joke that my favorite saying from him is we'll shoot the video and be like, that was perfect. Let's do it again. You're like, what do you mean? You said perfect.
Sure.
How am I supposed to do it any better? He's like, yeah, but I'm just move the camera a little bit. We'll just do the whole thing again.
He's good about it. He'll be like, okay, that was a good one. Let's do that one more time. And I'm like, well, you said it was a good one.
Yeah.
So it must not have been a good one. Or we're not going to. And he's like, nah, just sometimes it's good to have 2 or 3.
And I don't know if you're like me, like if you watch some of these people's videos, you can tell like super scripted, right? They're reading from a thing, right? I do not do that. My notes are like when you saw the equipment video, right? Mm-hmm. My notes are like 64-inch eco solvent, CMYK, light cyan, light magenta.
Sure.
And then you're like, there's no script, right? It's like, here's all the points I need to get across, and I'll get there. I'll figure out a way, right?
Sure.
Some way around it. We'll get there.
We've done both. The scripted stuff is definitely harder for me.
Brutal.
Yeah. I think it's funny because it's probably harder for Josh than it is for me, right? Because like I'm going to get through it. Like it's like a persistence thing. Like I got it. I'll get this. Yeah. And he's like, well, I don't know. That's take 847. So if I was a betting man, it's probably not going to be the next one.
We've been here. We've gone through 700 mini Michelob Ultras with 7 ounces.
I just don't.
We still haven't made any progress. You haven't gotten any better.
At this point, we're just drinking.
Yeah, we're not.
It's not getting any better. Yeah, no, it's
throw disc. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's brutal though. To make that type of video, and you have to be comfortable enough to just like go out and do it, right? Like we did.
Yeah, if your mind's not right, dude, if you got some stuff going on, it can.
It's real hard. Like even like I told you in Charlie's episode where he makes a joke that was like, sometimes I think I have imposter syndrome, but what I actually just have is anxiety, right? Like that's me, like to a T, dude. I was like 100% that's me. Like sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't be this guy that's out here like, hey, here's the new printer. And I'm like at the show, right? I'm like in everyone's space, right? Like I mean, you've been there too, right? Where like
Yeah.
you see a camera and you're like, oh, this is kind of inconvenient. I got to squeeze behind this person so I'm not in the way. And you're like, I have no choice. I'm setting up. I'm getting in the way. I'm asking people questions. And if you're not willing to do that, like you're not going to get, like the only content you're going to get is like you in your shop with like selfie mode. Like, hey guys, here's a sick car that I wrapped, right? Like, it's like, okay, cool. Like I appreciate it. But like the content is half the battle, at least now.
And the people that are like good at it, the ones that really don't care, like they just like
They're pumping them out.
dude, it's impressive to watch them. Like it gets me jacked.
Yeah.
We had a girl on the podcast not long ago. She's from down in Raleigh. She's a window tinter. Like it just doesn't even seem like it phases her, man. Like she's so seamless with it. Like, and even when she was here, it was like, it was cool to watch her because she would go through a couple, she'd be like, no, that one's not it. Like, just give me a minute. We'll be good. Just hang on. And she'd do her video and it was like, it seems like it's just so effortless for her. Like it just
becomes part of your routine.
Yeah.
For sure. Like even, so we're talking about, we have to shoot those videos next week, right? So there's 12 videos we need to shoot next week, essentially. By the time you get to like 6 or 7 on the week, dude, you are dialed, right? Like even when I was doing the videos at HP, like the first 2, when I'm doing the intro and outro, they're like a little rough. And then like 2 through 7 are great. But then by the time you only have 1 left, that one's terrible, dude. I probably did the intro and outro 17 times.
We're just going to roll on like you didn't just do it again. Was that one intentional?
No, I really do it again?
It's becoming like a thing. Like I just feel like you guys are doing this.
What? Don't look at me, dude.
This is not going well for me.
Nobody has to make 6 or 7 videos, right? You're doing 12.
I needed 8 videos last week. By the time I got to the 7th one, it was smooth. Then the 8th one got brutal again. That's fine. I'll be more particular about it. So anyways, you get in a rhythm and you just say things that apparently I keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Sure, it's all 6s and 7s.
But you get way more comfortable doing them the more you do them, which I think is what, like some of these people where it just looks effortless. It's just like a part of their thing, right? Where they're like, oh, I did this thing. Oh, I have to get on video. Hold on.
Yeah.
And then shoot the video. And like, when you see some of these people do it, it's just so smooth because it's just built in, right? It's like we wrap cars and we make videos. Those 2 things go together. Once I do a thing, I record a video. I do a thing, I make the video. I do a thing. And it's so normal that like for you, it looks like, oh, it looks very intrusive. But for them, they're like, oh, this is just how we do business, right?
Yeah.
And if you can get in that rhythm, I think it would be huge. I think so many people don't make content, especially in the automotive side, right? Like you have something that people want to look at, right? Like there's a reason this industry is on Instagram, right? Because like this is where the car people live, right? Sure. So is that all of that beneficial for your audience? I don't know if Austin talked about in his too, but it's like not all the time is it beneficial, right? A lot of the people that are watching this they just like cars, right? They're not
right.
They're not going to wrap their car. They're not interested in tools, right? They're just like, we like cool cars. That's sweet.
Sure.
But a lot of those people do get their cars wrapped, right? Like a lot of the people that are in the car industry are like, hey, how do I get my car wrapped? Who do I go to, right? And if you're not putting out that content, then they don't know who you are.
Right.
There's business that's just going right on by you to some other dude that posts on Instagram or girl, like the tinting girl.
Yeah. And she's crushing it. Like, and she, a lot of it she doesn't necessarily attribute to social media, but like she still, she posts like that's where every single dollar comes from. Yeah. And she'll be the first one to tell you, be like, no, not all my sales come from social media. Like we word of mouth, we're in a good location. Like, she's doing all the other stuff, but if she's doing it the way that she's doing social media, that's why she's doing good. Yeah. Because she's just on top of it. Like it, just like you were saying about like, it's not just all, there was a time where email marketing was the way to go. Is lifeblood, right? Yeah. Like that's how you connected with your customers. And now it's like, that's why I kind of asked that earlier when you were hinting at it a little bit about the whole, like you have to be so careful with like your email list. Like you have to kind of treat it, delicately. For sure. Because the second that they feel like, oh, here we go. Here's another spammy email from a distributor.
Yeah, like, they're going to feel that way after we run the 12 days of Christmas, but it's like, but
it sounds like
at least I'm bringing value,
right?
Like if there's things that are on sale, right? Like if you like buying things at a discount, which there's stuff you use, right? It's not like we're just putting random stuff on there.
Do you link the videos with the emails?
Yeah.
So that helps too, right? Yeah. So it's like, there's value, there's entertainment, like, so it's not so bad. You know what I mean?
And that's what's funny too. You talked about like, do you feel weird? Like when you don't know all the marketing lingo, right? Sure. Like when we talk to people and they're like, oh, like, how do you set up like attribution? How do you know where it comes from? Be like, I don't. Like, I just don't care. Like, is it increasing? Sweet, then it's
Nailed
working,
it.
right? Like, I'm good.
Sure.
Like, I don't need to break it down, right? At some point, we will, right? Because at some point, you're gonna have to be like, okay, should we spend more time doing this or more time doing this? Well, right now we're at 100%, right? So I don't have any more to add either way. Right. So it's like, this is working. Let's just keep this going. We'll figure out the math of it later at some point. But even when you're like, how does it work, right? Like if they're watching the email, then they go to the video, then they go to the website. Okay, did the video send them over, or did the email send them to the video which sent them over, which actually was just the email sending them over, right?
Right.
That attribution would get totally messed up, which is like the same. Like if you're sitting at your shop, and being like, oh, here's all the contact us that came in. Where did they come from? And you're like, okay, well, 2 came from email and 4 came from social. Well, how do you know that the 4 that came from social didn't come from the email, go to your social media, and then come back to your website, right? There's no way to know. So if you're not doing all the things, it's almost impossible to track unless you're using just outrageous software, which I'm sure exists out there. But
yeah, I have a friend of mine that was just recently telling me about it, and it's not even that crazy. It doesn't sound like, it kind of sounds like witchcraft, to be honest with you.
That's what a good marketing company does. Like, hey, would you like this thing that sounds impossible? We got it for you.
Yep, we got it.
And they sucker you in, and then it's like $7,000 a month.
Yeah,
like,
it sounded like a pyramid scheme out the gate. Like the way he started talking about it, I'm just like, are you? Is that a cult or something? Yeah. Are you involved in something? Like,
click my link.
Like, I'm not doing it, man. When it sounds too good to be true, yeah, it's normally that's a red flag for me. I'm like, I'm going to come back in 6 months.
Yeah.
And as long as you haven't done something crazy, maybe we'll.
Once it becomes this whole social media feed, then just really it ruined them.
Yeah. Yep. But it's people, again, you have to take in that it's a big part of the business. You know what I mean? Sure. Like you're kind of the link between, it kind of turns into like the face of the company.
Yeah, 100% it does. Yeah.
And so that's why I asked. I was just curious, I don't know. I would, because I'm into it. Like I like the idea of marketing, but it's some of that back end stuff. It scares me. Like it's like, you don't want to invest too much, because it's just tough. It's a tough space, and it seems like when times get tough, it's like becomes a little vulnerable.
Yeah. I think people are more likely to go like, okay, we just need to get more boots on the ground, right? We're sales, right? We need to sell some stuff, right? But I think like marketing is half of that. I feel like most of the time, like it's like if they don't know about you, when the sales rep walks in, I always tell our sales reps, like my goal is that when you walk into a new shop and you say, hey, I'm so-and-so from Wensco, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen you before, right? And if they don't say that, then I'm not doing my job well, right? And in the last 2 or 3 years, that's what it feels like. When we do the franchise shows, right, and I'd talk to customers that are way outside of our territory, right, and I'd be like, Tyler from Wensco, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I think I've seen some of your videos. Well, it helps if it's me too. They'll be like, oh yeah, I think I've seen you before. I'd be like, yeah, we put out a lot of videos, and I post a lot on LinkedIn, so maybe he's on me there. I don't know, but but that's the goal, right? Is like at least that soft opening isn't like just some random company, right? Like when you walk an ISA or Printing United, right, and you're just walking, and you're like, dude, there's so many booths here. I've never heard of these people before, right? Like you're not like walking up to them being like, so yeah, I buy all my stuff from this other person, but I'd love to start buying it from you, random person today, right? Like it's if you don't have that soft opening, it's so much harder to close a sale on them. And I know they say like old age used to say like if for someone to buy something, they need to see it 7 times. And I don't remember who was just talking about this, but they said with the way TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts are now, it's more like 70 times, right? They need to see you so many times before you become recognizable. And if you put that into perspective, when you're like, yeah, we put out 1 video a week. Okay, if the 70 is just a guess, right? But say it is true. You're like, so you need a year and a half of content for them to see it before they are familiar with you, right? Like that's like, it's not feasible, right? That's like when Gary Vee is like, you just need to pump it out. Dude. We're doing like 300 videos a week, right? You're like, okay, that's unfeasible. But like, what can I do, right? And so for us, we're like, okay, what can I do? I can put out 1 podcast and 1 2-minute Tuesday every week. If I'm really dialed in, dude, I'm putting 2 shorts out from the podcast, right? I'm putting 4 videos out a week, but it's only 2 recording sessions really. And that's 4 times as much content as we were doing last year, right? Our goal was like 1 video a week last year. So it's It's just steady growth is all we're going for.
And heavily prioritizing content.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and you can see it and you can tell it too. And the fact that it's different, I think, is useful. Like obviously, like I'm trying not to talk about your competitors, right? But like
fair game,
right? Well, but it's like just out of respect. But like with that is like when you look at your competition, it's kind of open season because nobody's really doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, you think about
it's
it
traditional, like at best, it's like traditional marketing, and it's not. There's no soul to it at all, and it's kind of like it becomes. I started to say this earlier, like if a guy gets me or a person gets me into a video, and I don't know that it's an ad, and we get to the point to where they're like,
buy the thing.
Yeah, it's like I almost feel.
Good move, dude.
Good move. Like you crushed that. And like one got me the other day and I was just like, I'm watching the rest of the video. I'm probably not going to buy the thing, but like at this point, I'm going to hear him out. I want to, because it was like I mean, the way things work nowadays, like you've almost have to try extra hard to make sure that you're not sounding like you're selling or like, you know what I mean? Like, like there's a skill to that.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
So when I'm watching, when you land on that person or that person, whatever that style is, it's like, I appreciate it. I think it's cool. I think, and some people, it could be natural, but I don't think it is. I think it's like, it's very intentional.
It's very hard to like make it like, that's the whole joke on these skits, right? Is you want them to get into like 45 seconds, a minute into this video before they realize like, oh shoot, this is actually just it's totally an ad. Like the whole purpose was an ad, right? And it's like, well, at least we already got you here. So like if I start with like, hey, 12 days of Christmas, we have this item on sale. Like I already swiped a while ago, right? But I mean, a name that's come up a bunch of times on your podcast already is Frank Fellers. Like, because what he did was what we're like, that's what we're talking about, right? Like we joke about
back.
Like,
I don't know if you've seen.
He's got a podcast. 5 minutes.
It's back.
I haven't seen them yet. It's funny. I literally ran into it last night.
Yeah.
Who was I? Oh, it was Brad posted something on Instagram. I think it was Brad. Anyways, I was looking at the likes and one of them it says like Frank Fellers something, and I was like, dude, are you serious? So I click on it and then it's like, hey, my podcast. And I was like, Frank Fellers has a podcast. Click the link. I was all the way through, dude. I was probably like 5 clicks in at this point. I was like, holy crap, this dude's putting out, it's only been like a couple weeks, I think.
Oh, I've been spamming him. I'm in his DMs like, bro, are you back? Is this happening?
Yeah.
I need you up for the podcast. You need to come on.
You 100% should get him. Dude, what he did for rap is like, he got us where we are now. Sure. Like without him, this doesn't exist. Like RapsCon doesn't even get on the map without Frank Fellers pushing it as hard as he did. Right. Sure. And, he's obviously stepped out and there's nobody there.
Oh, he sold for 120 million.
Yeah.
He says it. That's me quoting him just so we're clear here. I'm not
for him.
Yeah. It's in the video. I'm not going to tell you to watch Frank Fellers, but actually, he's not in the business anymore.
Yeah.
So
he's doing a business podcast.
We can separate.
He's not doing
Frank
vinyl
Fellers
content.
I think it's the Frank Fellers Freedom 5-minute podcast. I'm pretty sure.
It's called Frank Fellers Freedom. Dude, free shout out to Frank Fellers.
Shout out. Doug Dimmadome, owner of the
That's so funny. But yeah, like there's nobody that stepped in to fill his shoes, right? And you're talking about like a lot of these shows and in rap competitions, I think they tried to go like more like, oh, we want to be like neutral, right? But like what we talked about on the way here, we're like, if somebody came in with a rap competition, right? Like who you need is like, if you can get a distributor on board, like we know the rest of the people that you need, right? So all the vinyl manufacturers, all the equipment manufacturers, like just like if you got one of us on board and we're like, hey, I think we should all do this thing, right? The other benefit is like we also know most of the other distributors. Like you joked about like, oh, I don't want to mention their names.
Sure.
I could probably call any of them while we're here on the podcast and talk to them. Like we know. I
didn't think about that.
We run into each other at shows all the time, right? And a lot of them we're pretty familiar with, friendly with, right? Like I stopped at the Fellers booth at SEMA and talked to them for a while I was there. Like I was
very cool.
What's going on with you guys?
Yeah.
Why do you keep closing your locations? That's not what I started with. But I did ask it, so I'm not lying to you here. But like even when he explained to me, I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Like I don't know if it's I don't know if I like the move, but I understand your reasoning for it, right? So most of them we get along with pretty well. We were joking at HP. I showed him a video that one of our competitors sent us a video that they had shot that never went live, right? It was like this whole joke. And he's like, they sent that to you? I was like, yeah, like we talk, like when we go to a show, I'll text them ahead of time, like, hey, are you guys gonna be there? Like
I think that the competition should pit them all against each other.
Yeah.
I think the Rap Olympics should be everybody gets, like, the manufacturers can have a team, the distributors can have a team.
We talked about it for this year about sponsoring a team to go out for RapsCon. I was like,
I think that's the way it should be.
The joke was that we were going to tell people, hey, we should all sponsor teams. And then we were just going to go ahead of time and just grab like 7 teams and sponsor all, and then be like, yeah, good luck. We grabbed 14 people. So best of luck to you.
Yeah.
So
we're free agents now.
That's good.
So
I'll print some sweet shirts with the Avery logos on it for you guys. Let's see how that goes. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
I mean, we're looking at people that carry our products. That we're prioritizing those. Those are top of the list.
Okay, just have the Wensco.
It's not even.
That's fine.
It's not personal. Shot at anybody.
But no, I mean, I think it'd be sweet. I mean, the problem you're dealing with that show is like, is it worth the money that we have to put into it to do it at that point? That's where we're at with it. Like, I would love for it to be, right? And we've told them this, right? They're very aware that, like, I would love for the show to keep going. We've done it. Wensco has been a part of RapsCon since it started. The first year they did it, we were there. We've been there every year since then. We haven't missed one.
Sure.
So we would love for this thing to keep going, right? We've been here from the beginning. We'd love to keep it going.
I think the missing link is rugs, right? I don't know why everybody dances around this thing like it's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
They are like, yeah, we're trying to get it back.
And Katie's cool, right? Like I like Katie. I like what she's doing. I like where the direction of all of it, right? Like, but it's not hard to see. And to me, I like, again, if we're just being honest and like looking towards the future, it's like the World Rap Masters is in every major country where raps are happening except in the United States. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Like if you want to make this relevant, bring in World Rap Masters.
We talked about this for a while. We're like, honestly, like you can't, RapsCon isn't getting the big names out there anymore that they used to, right? It used to be like everyone went to RapsCon, right? Like if you talk about like the original mob members, like all those people, they all used to come to RapsCon, right? They used to do events at the show, right? Everyone was there.
They're like 80 now.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know
that's
what I
not
mean?
true because
Like most of them.
Steve and Jen got inducted, so you know.
Sure, that's true.
So they're probably half the age of the rest of the people. Dallas, I didn't mean that as offense to you. I'm sorry.
You jumped right on board though, and I appreciate that.
So
I don't even know if
but
you
even
call
like,
them mob
but
anymore. It's
even
like a nursing home.
yeah, but even they would say that. That was the opinion of Scott Decker, not Tyler Hall.
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying the competition's open to all of them.
Yeah.
Right. And
No, for sure.
And if they want to come out and compete, they're more than welcome to.
Yeah. But also we talked about it for a while. We're like, how are you going to get them all out, right? And you talk about like the PPF or Tint show that was just like, hey, what if we just put a big prize in here and then all the rap guys just out of the woodwork, dude. They're like, yeah, I'm in. Sure, sign me up. I'm in.
So WCT did it last year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and it was
they did pretty well.
not bad.
And we were like, should we go? And we're like, it's PPF or Tint show. We're not going to go. And then they're like, rap contest. And we're like, well, I didn't even say that
Sure.
6 months ago, you know?
Well, I mean,
We
it does.
committed.
It fits with war, right?
100%.
Like, yeah. So like that,
Yeah.
there's some room there.
Yeah, it was before it was ready. So we were like, are we going to do a PPF and Tint
Gotcha.
show? We're like, no, not right now. Like, it's not time. And
Have
then
you
they're
been?
like, no.
No, it's a pretty good. I mean, it's a cool.
No, so I think my dad went when it was in the Carolinas. Did you have one here?
Virginia.
3 years ago? Oh, Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah.
Right when the hurricane came in?
Yep.
That the year?
Yep.
So yeah, he was there. He was sending pictures of the water coming over the, yeah, it was a great time. Anyways, so he walked and he was like, yeah, it's a good show. And that was before they did any raps or anything. So we're like, should
But
we
it's
do
like
it? And he was like,
heavily competition driven.
Yeah.
Like you're really there for the competition. And I think that's like what makes that show cool.
Yeah.
Like it is the center attraction. And like, you know, all the vendors are around the outside of the competition zone. And like, it just makes it's got like real state fair vibes. I don't know like how to explain it, but like, it's like, you don't feel like you have to it's not, it doesn't feel as salesy because it feels like the vendors are there for the competition too. So it's like you really get on the level where you're like watching guys, and it becomes more of just like casual conversation about the competition, you know? And it's like every once in a while they'll try, like, you know, somebody from like EPD or something, they'll be like, well, you know, he wouldn't have that problem if he was using 280. Have you tried 280? So it's like they're still trying to slide it in there. Yeah, exactly. But it's a different, you know,
for sure.
It's like the lead, I don't know.
That's what we talk about. Like, so I did, I'd love to talk to Ruggs about this too at some point. I told him, I said, I need to bring this up to you because this is sweet. But anyways, I did the, what do they call it? I did the sign. They did it at the Sign Museum, which is in Columbus, Ohio. If you're not familiar with it, it's a museum for old signs. And they do a bunch of neon and painting. And it's the, Letterhead show is what they call it. It's called the Letterhead Show. So it's all these old school hand painters, people that have been hand painting signs for years, right? Super popular in like Arizona desert area.
Actually, like,
there literally was 6 vendor tables, maybe. It's pay to attend. So all of the people that come pay like a decent amount of money to come to the show. And then they just have like booths set up, right? So you can come and hand paint, and they put them on display. They had full walls. They painted like 6 walls in this building and like they did it in like shifts, right? So you'd have like 4 people working, then 4 more people working, then 4 more people work. They would finish it. Then people would come and add stuff. And then they did workshops all day, right?
That's kind of cool.
And it was only people that do that, right? Like we didn't even work our vendor table. We just like walked around. We had like catalogs out, and we're like, if you want a catalog, sweet. Like we're just here for this thing. Like this is
so
awesome.
Funny. I wasn't even thinking about you guys. Like,
so
do you still sell stuff in that space?
There's not a lot of us to do, so that's why they were like reaching out to us. They're like, "Hey, do you guys want to be a part of it?"
So you sell like brushes and paint, and
one-shot paint, brushes, stocked a whole bunch of them after that show because everyone was like, "Dude, nobody stocks them anymore."
Sure,
like, I guess that
like dealerships, like people drawing the numbers on the
some of them, yeah. So it's super popular in like the desert region because vinyl just dies once it goes out in the sun, right? So like Arizona and that kind of areas, like they do a boatload of hand painting. Like a bunch of them were like, we're from Southern California, Arizona, Utah, you know, like Colorado, Wyoming, and these places were like, they're pretty far out there, and paint lasts for ages, and you're never gonna have to.
And they probably don't like, because really, well, earlier you said that you guys primarily service the Midwest.
Yeah,
but you have 8 locations.
Yep.
So what are the 8? Do you know the 8? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Detroit. So we have 2.
I'm so glad you knew because I'm
Detroit. I get them all wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, can you pull it up? Actually, I'm just kidding. Grand Rapids, Detroit, Cleveland, Indy, Louisville, Chicago, Iowa, Davenport, Iowa, and then Minneapolis is the one we just opened. So
that's it. Yeah. So Arizona, California, Utah, like
far out. Yeah.
But they probably don't care because they can't get it.
Correct. They can't get it anywhere. Nobody's stocking it anymore, right? Like a lot of the places that used to historically sell paint have just closed their doors at this point. So
I guess it's kind of part of y'all's heritage too. Like, you know what I mean? Like
for sure. I mean, so when we can go back. So Wensco is an acronym. Like it's not, everyone's like assumes it's like a family name or something, which would make sense too. But it's sold for Wholesale Electric Neon Supply Co. So when we started, we sold bulbs, neon, and sign paint. That's all we sold, and boards and wood boards for painting. That's all they sold when they opened.
Interesting.
And so we came from the electrical neon paint side, and now we've obviously moved way into digital because that's where everything's gone. But that's like our roots. So in the last 24 months, we've stocked way up on neon, stocked way up on paint, stocked way up on brushes because we realized we were just getting like random orders that were coming in. And then when we were talking to the customers, they were like, yeah, nobody stocks this anymore. So we're like, oh, so probably, I mean, if you're already buying some of it here, why don't we just stock all of it? And we're getting some of that business back. But going back to
that's really cool though. I was
it's kind of a crazy thing that still exists. Like you don't even think about it existing.
Yeah, it seems backwards. Like I was not expecting. Like I don't know. I would.
So at the SEMA show, they had like a paint section. Like if you walked in that part of the show, like PPG was there. They had this giant booth. Yeah. If you kept walking down that row, there was a bunch of people pinstriping. They had like 3 or 4 booths with people hand painting pinstripe on the cars. Like that's still
always
a huge thing on classical cars.
The like the buffers, they always do. Like the hand painters will go in and like
I know what you're talking about.
Like it's
like the designs and everything,
Yeah.
gold leaf, all that stuff where it's just like, yeah,
on the like the big mechanical buffers or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's so cool to me. I don't know.
it's crazy that it still exists and that hasn't gone digital, but paint lasts for a long time, right?
Sure.
Like if we say vinyls, 10, 12 years is what we're getting to now and some
Sure.
of the new stuff, but most of it is not lasting 10 years, especially out in the sun. And you're getting some of these paints that are going to last 12, 15 years if you're not putting them directly in the sun, obviously.
Sure.
But anyways, going back to the Letterhead show. So we did that show, right? And everyone there is like pumped, right? They're running into people they know, right? Like we're just sitting there and they'd be like, hey, yeah, it's you. And you'd be like, how do you guys, you're not even from, like their state is on their thing. You're like, you guys aren't even remotely close. Be like, yeah, we're in an Instagram group chat together. I heard that probably 50 times. Be like, yeah, we're in a group chat together. Whenever we have an issue, we just send it out. And it's not one big group chat. It's just like all of these little communities and they all know each other, right? They're like, we all pinstripe. And there's probably 300-400 of them, right? This place is packed out with just people that just like love to paint and carve wood signs, like old school signage, right? And I was like, why the rap community doesn't have that event doesn't even make sense to me, right? Like they have their own cult following. How can we not pull off an event that isn't around a show, if that makes sense, right? Where it's like, sure, we would love to sponsor it, but I don't need, like when we do the Paint is Dead show, right? Where they're like, would you like to sponsor it? And we're like, yes. And they're like, do you want a booth? And I was like, no, like I want to be there and I want to talk to people. I don't want to sit behind a table and be like, hey, have you heard about Wensco? We sell vinyl. Do you use vinyl? Do you use vinyl? I mean, you're here, so hopefully. But like if you're doing that, like it's totally different than like if I just walk around and I'm like, hey Scott, nice to see you. Go and talk to like all the people that you want to talk to. You can just walk around and be like, hey, nice to see you.
What do you
Glad
think
you're here.
it looks like? Like what's a practical way to implement that and say like something like the Paint is Dead party?
I would love to do it like around a competition. I think it would be sweet to do it that way where it's literally just like we're doing a competition, right? It's 2-3 days or whatever, but everything is themed around community and not around like, hey, we're going to do, like I'd love to do like hands-on training type stuff, right? Where it's like you bring in like some of these guys that are just incredible at what they do, right? And you're going to be like, hey, we're going to do a whole presentation. We're going to show you just how to do the corner of a Ford GT, right? Like just the hood corner. Like that's the whole thing. It's like this very specific application, which relates to other parts of the industry, right? But like we know a lot of people struggle with, and they're going to be in there and see some dude just freaking, the thing is looking as nice as it's ever been.
You know the guy Luis from it's always in the 3M booth?
Yeah.
That like from, I think he's from Brazil or something. Like he does like the custom pinstripe and like something like that would be
100%.
sick, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And it's like all these applications were like all of you guys are really good, right? Like even all the people that were at the painting event, they're really good at what they do, right? They can all do letters, right? They can all do. And I sat in a webinar that was like how to do serifs, hand lettering. And this guy sits through and he like goes through all the intricacies of like, so draw a regular letter and then do this. And he's like, so that's one way to do it. Then he erased it and he's like, or you can do it this way. And he's like, here's why I would do it. Here's the situations I would do it. It's so specific. And there was like 70 people sitting in on this training. And I was like, you're telling me in rap, we can't have this where it's like, hey, this like super specific problem that people deal with. And we just like, there's never a time to like show it, right? Like when Justin Pate's doing his classes that are after people get certified, they can go and do like this master class, right? That's like, here's very specific applications that I think people should master and how to be faster or whatever. I think people could do that style of training, right? It's like, hey, you all know how to rap. So let's take like all you people that know how to rap and let's say like, hey, here's how I took, a van from taking me 8 hours to taking me 6 hours and 45 minutes, right? I only saved an hour over a year though. That's amazing, right? Sure. And it's like, here's like these 4 or 5 very specific things that I did that saved me a bunch of time. That would save people hundreds of dollars a year just on labor, like $1,000 a year on labor. And I don't see how we couldn't do that, right? So you're saying like, how I envision it happening is like, it's like 3 days, right? And you're like, okay, we have a competition and the events are at 10 and they're at noon and they're at 2 and they're at 4, happy hours at 5. And then in between those, so 11 is, we have these 3 different seminars going. And at 1, we have these 3 seminars going.
And it almost seems like by shrink, because you could almost shrink the show.
100%, it's in a small building that they do it in, right? Like there's like, I mean, you think about it like it's like smaller than a hotel, right? You have like 3 rooms that we can do things in. There's a big room that they do all the painting in. They have the displays. And then same thing, like you can have vendors come in, like how I vision vendors can come into. So you can have like Avery and 3M have a booth where they just bring a car in, right? So they bring in, something sick.
Yeah.
Like not the Lambos that came into SEMA where there was like 7 of them. You're like, dude, you guys all brought the same car here.
Sure.
Nobody wants to see these anymore. But just have them bring them in and like wrap them. You could do a different color every day.
Well,
And like
that's what I was thinking at one point when you were talking. I was like, even if there's like a community car, and like the goal is
100%.
like each person comes in and they do their little part or their little thing, and then like you build on.
Or even like, so what the Paint is Dead booth did last year where they were part of the wrap competition, right? But they had like teams come and wrap that Cybertruck, and they did it like every 2 hours, right?
Sure.
Someone would wrap it and peel it off.
Yeah, that was cool.
And you got to see like 30 people wrap this Cybertruck.
Sure.
Like we were sitting right across from them, right? So we got to see everyone do it. And we got to see Jim Miller do it in like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And he's like, yeah, I probably still could have done it faster, but it was pretty good. And it's like, dude, this is the cleanest thing I've ever seen all day.
I'm pretty sure he was partnered with Brad Felty, right?
No, I think he did it. Well, for that part, I don't know, because I don't know if it was part of the competition, so I don't remember who he did it with. But dude, we were just sitting there like, did he just do, like, is he done? Like he just like hands up, and you're like, did he even start? I didn't see anything. He like peels the panel, looks done. You're like, I don't think anyone's wrapping it all over. He's just peeling backers off and he's done. I don't know how to do it, but like that type of stuff, right? Where it's like all of these people. And like it's one giant community, right? And we see that at the Paint is Dead show where like everyone gets together and they all talk, and we get that for like 3 hours, and then it's like done. And it's like that's all we get all year.
Yeah, it does always feel kind of rushed and like very short, But I don't know. I like where your head's at. I think it's cool. I think it's a good idea.
And it'd be sweet to do it. Like we kept like the number that got thrown originally is like, if you did it for like 50 grand, dude, who's not coming?
Right.
If you're like 50 grand's on the table,
yeah.
You make like second place 10 grand. You're like, dude, I don't even have to win. I can go home with 10 grand, dude.
It would be interesting to see who came out for that.
I think you would just get the people to come out when it's like, it's just a community event.
We're not getting slouches at the event now. I mean, talk about
100%.
Jen and Dallas were in the finals this year. You know what I mean?
But you get people that are like
Damien. He's won RapsCon 2 times in a row.
But even like some of the big names are still not coming. Like Javier just didn't come this year, right?
Strange.
And it's like he's like, I'm too busy, and be like, there should be an event that's so good that people are like,
sure,
it doesn't matter. I'm blocking off a calendar for this, right? And even like I talk about some of the mob, like Chad Parrish doesn't come out to do RapsCon anymore, right? And I think he's incredibly talented. Anytime I've seen him do work, it's just like this dude knows what he's doing.
Super nice guy too. Like he could thrive in the show world.
100%.
You know what I mean?
But I know a bunch of super talented people that just like don't come out to do these shows. They're like, that's not beneficial. I'll be like, if you could just put on a thing that was like, we have to be here for this thing, right? It's like the thing to go to.
Sure.
How you do that, how you pull it off mathematically for the numbers, I don't know the answer to that one. But
sure, but like your take on the like making it so specific. Like I can imagine being like a show coordinator and being like, okay, so we're gonna have 12 vendors here. That doesn't sound cool.
Yeah.
But then to the person coming, depending on what those 12 vendors are doing, it kind of does sound cool.
Like you need like there's, I don't know, 10 vinyl manufacturers right now. There's more every week, but you know,
but
from
real manufacturers.
And then there's probably like 4 or 5 like equipment manufacturers. So between those 15, you pretty much got everyone, right? Like you can get the distributors there, but if you get all the vinyl and equipment people, what are the distributors doing there anyways, right? Like it's like, cool, you see that booth over there? We sell that stuff. Cool. Like they're good. So I think if you can get those people there, I think it makes sense. And for them, it feels like it would be a no-brainer. Like if you were like, if we joke about like, oh, how much the SEMA booth costs. We were talking about that earlier today. If you just were like, hey, like SEMA where you get like 1 million people to come through the show, right? But like 1,000 of them are super applicable to you. So what happens if we just got rid of those 9.9 million people and we just gave you the 1,000 people that you actually want to talk to, right? If you can pull it off and get all the big shops there, that's who they want to talk to anyways, right? Like that's what we joke about. Like I only really want to be a part of the competition because the people I want to talk to are they're the people that are engaged in this, right? Because they're the ones that do a lot of vinyl. They do the big shops. Like a lot of the people that are walking the show are like, yeah, we do some. Like, yeah, I want to work with you guys too. But the people we really need to talk to are the ones that are out there competing right now.
Yeah, and like the t-shirt and grommet stuff, like that's like you know what I mean? It doesn't.
It's that. I mean, GPX has turned into the t-shirt show. I'll say it here because I already told them this, but that's what it's really become. Like the vinyl manufacturers don't come. Like honestly, like who was there this year?
Well,
GF and
I wanted to.
Oracle.
I wanted to ask you about that. Like, is there a certain like for you being a distributor? Do you feel like they need to be like where are you at on like marketing and the manufacturers? Like, it's like
do they need to be there?
Well, do they need to be marketing more? Do they need to be like? Is there a certain level of like expectation that you have out of them?
That's funny. We talk about this all the time too.
You have to, right?
We always talk about like what's their role in this, and I always talk about it with like we just had this conversation with 3M where I said like, here's what I can tell you: when you guys come out with a new product and we put it on the website and we send out a thing that says like, hey, we have it, we start selling it typically because they do a pretty good job at customer education, right? Okay. And they have a cult following around 3M, right? There's people that love or hate 3M, right? They're on both ends of the spectrum. A lot of the other vendor manufacturers don't have that, right? They're just like, they have some that love it.
Sometimes
there's a lot of people that don't like hate them, right?
Sometimes I wish I didn't love them as much as I do.
Yeah, it's hard though for you, isn't it?
I just love them so much.
But some of the other ones, it's not the case, right? They'll come up with a new product, we'll put it on the website and it'll just be like crickets. And I always tell them like, I cannot do all of your new customer learning, right? I can't show them everything about this product. Like if you're not doing some of that work, we're not going to sell it. Like that's just the reality. Like, which for you, if we already bought it, you're like, we already sold you the, but you want to sell more, right? So,
but did they ever put pressure on you to be like,
100%.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Does it like, yeah, you guys aren't selling as much as everyone else. Be like, it's a different market. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like we talk about this all the time with like LEDs. Like if you like drive through like any of the big towns, right? Like every sign is lit up. When we just drove the, whatever it was, 45 minutes to the disco thing, we didn't see a single lit up sign the whole way, right? There's not one in this building either, right? Like it's very region specific where people use LEDs. Like some people use a bunch, some people use none. So you're like, sometimes it's just a different market, right? And you'd be like, oh, your competitors sell way more than you do. You'd be like, they're in California. Like it's just a totally different market than we have here.
Sure.
But 100%, yeah, there's a lot of pushback in terms of like, we deal with it all the time too. Like we were just putting out an email this week and I was like, we can't send it. Like I had one vendor like very specifically centralized and be like, if you guys send this email, I'm going to get 5 phone calls as soon as this email comes out. They'll be like, why'd you put them there? What about us?
Well, like, that was kind of my next question. Like, I wonder if there's ever like are they competitive? Like yeah, that's cool. That's so funny to me.
I mean, it's they should be, right? Like their job is to sell vinyl, just like, and I always tell them like, we're selling vinyl, but like the vinyl manufacturers this year, they're all like, we want as much attention as we get, as much shelf space. And we're in a good spot where we've been growing this year, right? So like every time we have a meeting, they'll be like, all right, what can we do? And be like, listen, you guys are up. Can you just like you're up, they're up, we're good. Like there's a space for both.
Do you try to balance it? Like is there
100%.
Yeah, there's balancing act there.
Yeah. When we do events and stuff and you got to like lay out tables and stuff. So we do like 8 events, right? And we like kind of section them off, right? But you're like, when I lay out the tables, like it's the most coordinated thing of all time. You're like, okay, so for the first show, 3M's first, and then you can't put any of the other ones second because they don't want to be next to each other. So then you're like, okay, let me get an LED guy in here, then let's get Arlen in here, then let's get some guy that sells substrates, then let's get Avery in here, right? And then you're like, okay, next show, I'll be like, okay, well, 3M was first last time. Okay, so Arlen's first this time. Dude, it's so, and I don't know if they know what's going through that. Like, and it's so much work because, I mean, I bet you we have 15, 16, 17, I don't know, vinyl manufacturers, dude. Like when we're laying out the tables, it's like every other is vinyl.
Sure.
And that's not the case like on the other ones. Like we have a couple LEDs, substrates, they don't really care because usually they're not directly competing with each other. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work to be like, how do I keep everyone happy, not make someone mad at me? We haven't done a great job of that this year. We're trying our best here, but yeah, definitely some people have been like, hey, you're not, everyone else seems like they're ahead of me. And it'd be like,
sure.
It's not intentional. I'm not like trying to put you in the corner over here.
Well,
it just
I think
happens.
a lot of, and I haven't seen obviously all your content, but a lot of your content is more about kind of like your value prop from like what what Wensco really offers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's more of like, this is who we are.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily about, I'm not here to tell you, you know, how great one thing versus the other or right. Like there's some times where like the 2 Minute Tuesdays where you're going to run through that, you know, and even then it's not really pushing anybody one way or the other. It's just like, hey, I want to make sure that you're aware, like here's this, you know, this equipment or this piece of equipment or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's I've often wondered that because
we always make a joke. I've sat in so many product trainings, right? Like think of all the ones you've sat in for 3M, right? So we've sat in all of those, right? Sure. But we've also sat in all the other ones. I make a joke that like if you put me in any of their booths, like you could put me in 3M booth, put me in an Avery booth, put me in an Arlon booth, and I could give you almost the same speech about how great this film is and how bad and why the other ones are bad in each of their booths. Like I've done this. I've used all of them. We've seen all of them. I've seen how they're made and why they're made the way they are. And I've seen the other ones and why they're made they are. And they all have a spot, right? Like some people really like this product. Some people really like this product. And some people really hate these products, right? Like it's all over the board, but like they all have a spot. And like, sure, maybe we have favorites, but I'm not out here like, hey, buy this one. We really prefer if you buy this one. Like it's just not set up that way. And I think some of them think that we're playing that game or be like, oh, we'd really love to sell this one. But like it's just not the case.
Well, and because it is a competitive market, you know, right? Like rightfully so, I could see where they, you know, they'd have the concern. But it's no, like I said, I've wondered that before. Because I think that some of the reasons that your competitors they've backed off a lot of that social media stuff is because they may not know how to navigate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's for sure a problem. Like we joke about it all the time. We're like, the vendors come to do like our events, right? And we'll be like, hey, here's like, we'll give them a graphic, right? That's like, hey, here's we're going to the Wensco event thing. And nobody posts it, right? And it's because they're like, oh, we don't want them to be mad and be like, okay, well, like, are you mad when I'm like, hey, Avery, are you mad when I'm like, Arlon's running a sale or 3M's running a sale?
Sure.
Like, it's just, everyone has their time, right? Like, as long as you're not like, as long as, you know, Grimco doesn't go on your page and it's like, Wensco, right? You know, like spread out the love, you know what I mean? Like, like if they're doing stuff too, like post that. Like, I'm not saying don't post theirs. I'm just saying like post, like tell people, hey, we're going to be at this thing, right? Like, and most of them don't. Like, I think they're so scared of staying neutral that they're just putting out super neutral content. You know what I mean? Like,
do you ever worry about that with Wensco and the order of operation of ever getting to a point to where it starts to tighten up on you? I mean, as a growing company,
for sure,
right?
Yeah, I mean, even we think about it all the time too. Where like some of the videos we put out, and you're just like, was that like too far? You know what I mean? Like it's like you're like looking at it like, it's pretty casual. Like, are we gonna like start scaring people away? We're like, dude, these guys are a joke, dude. I'm not gonna do business with these guys and be like,
yeah, picking on Frank Fellers is pretty strong. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong though.
It was a pretty good hit though. It was pretty funny when we came with the idea for the video, and they're like, can we do it? And I was like, I think people understand.
Oh, it'll land,
funny, you know
for sure.
And yeah, it's the only time that the CEO of Grimco sent me an email before. It was like, dude, that video was great. And I was like, this is hilarious. How he found my email, I don't even know. Dude. He must just have all of us somehow. Probably. But
I mean, he's a CEO, right? Like,
yeah, I should have framed the email. That's what I should have. I was like, that's hilarious, dude. But yeah, we're like, is this like, are we like going too far on the casual side? Should we do some on the other side? But I think we do, right? Like, I think we put out those funny videos, but like 2 Minute Tuesdays are like super formal, right? Like sometimes I'll slip in a joke because I have no choice. But
they're not, you know, what I mean? But I mean, they're not like it's not like gross, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like there's content that I see that's just like, I don't even watch, like there's no point in even watching it because it's like, dude, this is just a greasy ad.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even, there's no real, there's nothing. There's no soul to it. It's just kind of like,
yeah. And I think if you just get a good mix of that in, you know, like there's videos that are informational and there's videos that are selling. And I think you need a mix of both for it to even make sense.
Sure.
But I think we try and do a pretty good job of like giving you as much information as you can. Like we talk about it. We just did a Arlon training in Indy 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's where I went and hung out with Brad for a little bit there. But
yeah, he said you guys came by the shop.
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
And he's got some sick cars in there right now too. So, yeah, it's insane. But the Arlon trainer was like giving his spiel after I did my whole spiel. It was like, thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate you. Here's the trainer. Here's the rep from Arlon. Here's who you need to talk to at Wensco. Like, we want you guys to learn as much as possible, right? And Chuck, our rep from Arlon, shout out Chuck. He comes out and he's like, hey guys, like, he's like, I don't say this at everything. He says, Wensco puts out more educational content than anybody that we know. And they really want you to know and understand the products better than anyone else. And I was like, I don't think we've done a good job of explaining that to people. We're like, our goal here is like there's a lot of complexity in this industry, right? Like when we talked about PWF, right? It doesn't quite install the same. If nobody shows you that, then like there's not anything to like compare it to, right? And 3M isn't going to put out a video that's like, hey, here's PWF versus like some random competitor, right? They're not like that. But that doesn't mean there isn't space for that type of video, right? Where it's like, hey, here's the two differences, right? Like there's room for this type of product and there's also room for this type of product. Obviously, there's price differences as well, right? So like if you can explain the price difference, this is great. If you don't think you need these benefits, here's another product, right? And
I had a couple influencers that came over to the 3M booth, and I was like, you know, have you seen PWF? And they're like, yeah, you know, we've seen it. I'm like, have you tried it?
Yeah,
by chance? They're like, nah, I've never touched it. You know, we're not really 3M people. I'm like,
I have a side story here for this PWF. I thought about telling it earlier. I was like, I'm not gonna tell. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm telling now. We've been doing this a few minutes now, so we got to roll a PWF.
2 hours and 13 minutes to be exact.
Has it really been?
Yeah.
That thing stops at 100 minutes.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude. I was like, wow, has it really only been an hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah, I need to get a new timer.
Yeah, you can't have a 100-minute timer when you do 2.5-hour episodes. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Anyways, we got to roll a PWF in, and we were going to use it for one of the like open house events that we do, right? So I get the box, I open it.
Badass box, by the way.
The boxes are sweet,
right?
Yeah, they're great idea to make them look separate than the other one. Same with like all their tint and PPF are all in separate boxes. They all look different. When you have them on the shelf, you know what's what.
Yeah.
And so we get a roll, we unbox it, and we just go to wrap the hood, right? And I've probably done as many hoods as some of the wrappers have out there because that's what we do for demos, right? Like we just do hoods. So I was like, yeah, I've done this specific hood way too many times at this point. And we go to do it, and I was like, dude, this does not land, dude. I can't stretch it. I can't move it. I can't do anything, dude. I'm like pulling on it. It won't even move. I was like, maybe I sent us a bad roll, dude. I've seen videos. This thing works great. We're trying everything we can, right? This is like right when it came out, right? So they sent us a roll immediately. We're like, dude, this thing just will not, I just can't get it to lay down. We do the front to back. We're like stretching it. I can barely get it in like the little, you know, like heat and do the groove on the hood, dude. And I was like, it's not laying down, dude. I was like, what is wrong with this film? The 3M rep shows up and I was like, dude, it's not laying down. He's like, oh, weird. He like looks at it. He doesn't think anything of it. He's like, oh, weird. Yeah, it doesn't want to stretch at all. And then we go to the next one. Different 3M rep shows up. He's like, oh, did you peel the cap sheet off? And we're like, are you being serious right now? Because like, so I knew it had a cap sheet, right? But like on 2080, the cap sheet just installed, right? Yeah. Nobody told me like, yeah, we have a plastic sheet like rigid that goes over the top of PWF. That's not in, I need that in the right on the box.
I'm glad it wasn't the other way around because there were trainers saying like, oh no, you can install it with it on there. So when I got my second roll.
If you got a Cybertruck, dude,
slay it.
Just lay it down.
The second roll that I got, I'm trying to like do it with with it on there, and it's kind of the same experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was getting it down, but I'm just like, this isn't it, and then you finally pull the cap sheet off.
And it's just like yeah, it's like butter, dude. It just goes down. I was like, this, and then when they said that and you like go to try it, and I was like, dude, this is I was like, I look like an idiot. And it laid down so smooth. And then we're like, now it looks awesome. But it was like the third show that someone's like, well, did you peel the cap sheet?
Oh, you did it at a show.
It was like open houses, right? So then we just moved on, right? It didn't work. So we're like, okay, put that away. Bring out some 2080, dude. We'll just lay down some vinyl. No one's gonna know difference. And then they were like, why are you using we sent you a roll? And we're like, it's not laying.
You guys actually did several of those open houses.
Yeah, we do one at all locations. So we'll do We did 7 last year. The new location opens, so we'll do 8 next year.
I didn't think about that. So like you were saying earlier that you guys did 8 classes. Was that just like a one at each location?
So that's how we used to do it. Yeah. So we used to do like 7. We actually used to do 8 every year. We used to do 2 at our corporate office because we had so many customers there, we would fill them. And then we started just doing 1 at every location. And then this year when we went to 8, well, last year we were kind of having a little bit of issues filling 7 or 8 classes. And we're like, what if we just go to like a more central, make it a 3-day class instead of a 2-day class, which will give them, it allows us to do like walls and floors, which historically like people would ask questions about and be like, well, here's how you do it. Like theoretically, right? We don't touch it. It just gave us a little more time. And how we used to do it is we used to do them basically like I would show up, like in examples, I would show up in Louisville on Monday, set up, and then we would do a class Tuesday, Wednesday. I would tear down, drive it to Indy, reset up, and then we do a class Thursday, Friday is how we used to do it. Nuts. And we'd have the trainer, right? The trainer would travel with us, the whole thing. And it worked mostly well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Wednesday was like you do like a 15, 16, 17-hour day. Right? We'd have to do the 2-hour drive, do the 2 hours of setup, show up the next day, do another like hour of setup, and then do the class.
Yeah, you're hoping those guys get out of there early on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we're like hustling through. Get this bumper done.
We got to go.
Heat and mash this thing down. Okay, it's gonna stay fine. We only got to drive it 2 hours. We're gonna rip this thing right off. Charlie said heat and pray in your episode. I laughed so hard. I was like, I never heard someone say heat and pray. That's pretty good.
He's got so many of those little just one line.
I laughed so many times listening to his episode. It was so good. But
you really got to pay attention. Like you got to listen.
Yeah,
to
it's quick. He's
his one of the I use one of his lines now. He asked me about like the worst part about training or whatever, and I asked him back the same question. I don't know if you remember this part or not, but he was like, breaking hearts, baby.
Yeah,
breaking, and it was just like, God damn. So that's what I use now.
Yeah, it is.
But I try to always give him credit for it too. But just that little line, just breaking hearts, baby.
Yeah, it's so smooth too.
Yeah, like Matthew McConaughey or something.
Yeah.
Like he's just like.
But yeah, so we used to do it 2 and 2, and then we moved to 3-day classes. Allowed us to do walls and floors, which was good, but also didn't let us do 2 in a week. So we're like, I'm not gonna do 8 classes. That's 8 weeks out of the year. I'm just gonna book with classes. I was like, let's just do 4 or 5, see if we can fill them. We filled them pretty well this year, so we're probably just gonna do 4 or 5 again, which I think I'm supposed to finalize that on like Monday, so we'll have that those dates out. But yeah, it's been sweet. The trainings go super well. We put a lot into them. It's our curriculum, so Arlon has sponsored them historically, but we set up the curriculum, set up what we want to do, what we're gonna wrap on, how it lays out, what we want to show people, and then Kristen did them all this year, except for the last one, Vic out of Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool guy.
So he's great. He did a couple of our classes the year before, so I knew him before that. So it was cool to have him back. But they basically follow our curriculum, what we go through, and I think we do. And everyone asks like, oh, do we send out certificates? Be like, I mean, do you want one? I always make the joke I always make is like, if you want me to sign a piece of paper before you leave here, like sure, like. Is it going to do you any good? Like I'm not trying to be mean to you. Like if you want, like a lot of them is like schools or like some of the bigger organizations are like, we need something to bring back and be like, okay, cool. We can print you one if you need one. But there's not a lot of value in being like, we took the Wensco Wrap class. Like I think the class is super good. I think if you're new, by the time you're done with that class, the joke I make in the class to start is, what do you guys think the goal of this wrap class is, right? And I put it up on the board and there's a blank space, right? And I'll be like, everyone go around, like, yell out what you think. They'll be like, getting more comfortable, learning how to do channels on vans, learning how to do bumpers, learning how to do rivets, right? They all come through with like, this is what I'm hoping to learn. And then I click the slide and it says, the goal of this class is to make you buy vinyl. That's the joke. And
that's what I was thinking.
And I was like then I always say like, so obviously I make this joke to say like, if we do our job well here, you're going to feel super comfortable doing vans by the time we leave, comfortable enough to go back and buy kits of vinyl, right? So we're in B2B. So the benefit of this is like, if I can get your company to grow, you will have to buy more materials and we will grow.
Because training falls into the marketing.
Yeah.
So that's why you fit in with that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
so I do all the trainings too.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that I schedule them all. I go to all of them.
You are busy, man. You got
it's a lot
going on.
There's too much stuff going on.
It's cool though.
We need more people, but I'm loving it. So I'm not any complaints to just keep doing it. That's what I'm like. I saw somebody, I saw something on Instagram this morning that was like, how lucky am I to wake up exhausted doing something I love doing every day? And I just thought like, dude, I'm just like to get out and come out and do this, right? And be like, dude, like,
look at you.
Why am I? Who gets to do this, right? Like, who's like, yeah, I'm gonna fly out to North Carolina. What for? Yeah, we're gonna record a podcast. Be like, oh, that's cool. Like a whole day. Be like, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna show up in the morning and
there's gonna
see
be
where
a
it goes.
lot involved. It's not just gonna be a podcast.
Yeah, and I was like, hopefully I'll get to throw discs. I know they play disc golf, so that'd be sweet too. But if not, like I'm here for the ride.
So you mentioned we've hit on Brad Felty a few times, right? Like obviously me and Brad's friends. Brad's cool. Have you ever met Brad's wife?
No.
Okay. So
no, I don't. Was she at RapsCon?
She was at SEMA this year.
I don't think I saw him.
Yeah,
I didn't run into him at SEMA. At least not any long term. I don't think.
It's funny because she missed the WWW or the said rap party.
He did say that to me when he was there.
So he was there, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
But so anyway, when he came on and did the podcast, you've heard his episode.
Yeah.
And you've probably heard this spiel before, but so just bear with me. But so he came on, and right after the podcast was over, he walked out of the door and he's like, "Shit." I'm like, what? What's the problem? He was like, I forgot to shout out my wife. So pretty much every episode since then, we give her a shout out.
I listened to it on the Charlie episode. It was like, yeah, shout out to my wife. Yeah, it's a good time as ever to mention it.
Well, I think it's funny because it's kind of turned into that, right? Like I like, because we go on some rabbit holes here, and it's like you could easily forget to. So I always try to like segue into that. Like, is there anybody out there that you can think of that you would like to shout out? And no pressure or anything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, shout out my wife. That's what the whole segue here. So
good job.
I travel a bunch.
Crush that.
So we have two. I have a 4 and a 3-year-old at home, right? So doing that by yourself's not fun by any means. So she does all that, gets them to preschool and all that good stuff. And we were joking about that. I like went to call them earlier and they weren't there, and I was like, I'm kind of out of it. Like when I'm traveling, like I'm not fully aware of what's going on at home because she's got it under control. I don't really need to deal with it.
Yeah.
So and then obviously shout out for Wensco letting me do this crazy thing where they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna shoot a podcast in North Carolina, but don't worry, I only have to fly from Atlanta, so it's not that bad. And they're like, okay, like you do what you want to. I don't know what you're doing over here. So, but yeah, like obviously they let me do all these things because I think it's become valuable over time. So we've been having a pretty good time doing the videos, doing the podcast, traveling around, doing the shows. It's been a good time.
I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna shout out your dad. I think that like him wanting to work with his family is incredible. Like I'm a big component of that. I'm close with my family. I love my family. I like them being around. I don't mind working with them. They're all like really, my brothers are really smart.
Yeah.
My brother, like I enjoy working with my brother-in-law. So it's like, I appreciate that. And there's so many people out there that are like, no, you don't work with family.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he, he's like,
think about like some of the companies that today that are huge started as like family run businesses, right? It's like a couple people running the shop. And I think that might have been his original vision, right? When he asked me to come over, which seemed so impossible at the time, right? Like he wasn't in ownership. He's just like, hey, do you guys want to come and work here? Right. We're going to do something sweet. And I think like genuinely what I think Wensco has going on, I think is we're growing into something that's it's going to be a big deal. I hope going forward. We got a lot of momentum. With a lot of targets on our back, which I usually just assume means we're doing the right thing, right? Like our competitors watch our videos because you can see that on LinkedIn. So appreciate you guys all watching the videos.
But I think some of it is they're probably a little envious that they can't do that. And again, kind of shout out to your dad too, like for kind of, I don't want to say allowing because that sounds weird, but like also he's the boss, right?
Yeah.
So like
for sure. And you can go back. So it's funny. You can go back to like some of the videos that we put out, like Wensco put out like way, way, way before me, dude. We put out like some ridiculous video. Like if I was here, even I'd be like, dude, I'm not putting this video out, dude.
Oh, like
and it was him.
Really?
It was him from like long time ago, dude. Like if you scroll dude, if you got way back on Wensco, you'd see they crashed a tricycle at one point in the parking lot. They were making a joke. They did this whole campaign like forever ago that was like, we deliver. Like it's kind of our thing, right? Like it doesn't matter what the conditions are, we deliver. And so we got a bunch of snow one time and they're like, dude, the vans won't get out. And he's like, oh, dude, we got it. And they put it on the back of this tricycle and like biked out into the parking lot and just wiped out, dude. And that was the whole point of the video, right? But like some of these videos we've done, like he's obviously a real good sport about it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's in them. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Well, the one the one that came out recently, like he's like the whole butt of the joke. And I'm like, hey, we're gonna shoot a video. Here's what we're gonna do. Like he obviously knows going in. Like, hey,
I think I've seen it. Like Yard, like making him look dumb. Like he's like making suggestions. Or whatever. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, all those suggestions were a certain competitor ran that exact same campaign. If that's the whole inside joke on that, so they knew that as well. It was like, hey, what you should do is like these things. I almost made a joke. They made a Thanksgiving video that was like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. You know what you need with Thanksgiving? Rolls. We got rolls on sale. And I was like, dude, I want to make a video so bad and be like, you know what goes with Thanksgiving? Rolls, I guess. That's what I'm being told, at least. These ones. And I was like, dude, I don't know.
Some Hawaiian rolls or something.
But I was like, at least they're doing something, you know? Like, at least they gave me some joke in there. Like, there's a little bit of liveliness to them. But yeah, I mean, he's a great sport.
Yeah.
I'm doing all those videos. It's been a good time. And he lets me do them. He doesn't, now they're like, the joke he made for last year was, they were like, people keep asking me what we're doing for 12 Days of Christmas. And I'll be like, I have no clue. Tyler does it. I don't touch it. Sure. And then he'll be like, hey, can you come do this video? Like, that's when I find out what we're doing, is when he asks me. And usually I have no idea. I just like jump in.
I think when people talk about like parenting and like, you can, there's like some cheesy quote that's like, it's not, it's like when your kids grow up, if they still want to hang out and be around you, you've probably done a good job. You know what I mean? So like y'all's relationship, like you work together, you hang out. Like, it's cool. Yeah,
it's been,
I hope my kids want to hang out with me when they get older. You know,
it's worked well. Like, I think my parents raised me well. I think there's a lot of people say I have way more of my mom in me. Like, if you've met my dad, and like he's like, he can be like obnoxious in the life of the party, and then they meet me and they're like, dude, are you sure? Like, he's your dad? Like, have you checked? Have you done a test? You know? And so like a lot of respect for both of them that I made it this far, that we made it this far. You know, like I keep thinking, like we were talking about earlier, like how do you even get here, dude? Like, how am I sitting on this podcast? Like, what? And it's like, and you're like, yeah, dude, I asked some 3M rep who we should bring on. He's like, yeah, dude, bring on Wensco, dude.
Shout out Mark Bagley for suggestion. Like 100%. He didn't even miss a lick, dude. Like as soon as I said it, I was like, I want to have some conversation. And I am really glad. I mean, it's easy for me to say now, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm really glad that it was you, because you're not that zipped up corporate. Like,
and you're like, what can we talk about? I was like, I guess if it comes up, I'll let you know. But it didn't. So, I mean, we've done this for, according to the clock, 99 minutes and 59 seconds.
It's definitely,
it's like a 2-minute Tuesday scenario you're doing over here with me. Be like, yeah, it's been 100 minutes. Be like, oh, dude, we got another 100 minutes to go here. That's funny. I never even noticed it wasn't moving. I just kept looking over there and be like, dude, 100 minutes seems low. I don't know. I feel
we're
like
crushing it, man.
You got a long ways to go. Yeah. You got any more?
There's a funny story behind this. Well, I'll tell you once we.
All right, sounds good.
Get out. But yeah, no, I'm glad it was you. I'm glad it. Obviously, I mean, I want to have as many people on as we can, and I want to meet people. But like, there's things that just, maybe like even just like the little bit of hesitation, like talking about your competition. You're like, no, man, talk about them. What's up? Like,
we talk about them all the time. So.
Yeah.
Or maybe too often, but who knows?
But it's in not in your defense, but like to your point, it's more like they're talking about you too. Like you said, you can see them seeing your video, so it's not like, and the CEO sent you an email, so it's not like.
Yeah, and I think this is applicable to you guys running wrap shops as well, right? But like if you're out there like looking at what your competition is doing, trying to copy them, dude, they're already 7 leagues ahead of you, dude. If you're copying what they're doing, they're winning already, right?
For sure.
And I'm not looking at any of my competitors' content and be like, man, I should really put out some of these videos.
What content?
They're putting out some bangers over here, dude. That's like 4-minute video on like all like fabricated B-roll content. Like that's what all of our like the equipment wants to come out to. But it's like, dude, that's not like, do you know who your audience is?
That's right.
Like you do know, like you deal with them. You deal with more of them than we do. And you're still just putting out the same easy videos. And,
it's interesting that you relate to him though, because I wouldn't have pinned you for that guy. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, you can like see it too. I mean, we're dealing with the same people, right? Like, a good example of this is like Resupply. Shout out Resupply in Texas, but they just had the same thing happen, like kind of with what us happened, right? So Richard Reese, who ran it, like I think it's like his daughter-in-laws or something like that, have come in to kind of like take over where he was trying to like step out of the business, right?
Yeah.
And one of them sent me like a LinkedIn request, and wish I could remember her name. I would say it on here, but she sent me a LinkedIn request, like to just be friends or whatever. And I sent her a message and was like, I know, like, I only know a little bit about you, right? I know like what happened. And I was like, listen, there's not many of us doing this thing, right? Like there's even less distributors than there were before, right?
Sure.
They're closing left and right. It's like, if you need any help, like I'm available, right? Like the funny part is like, I love to talk about this because like, this is what I do every day, right? It's like wanting to talk about wraps, right? Like, it's like, it's easy for me because I do it. I know it. I love it. But it's not like you're at the grocery store and someone's like, yeah, tell me about wrapping a fender on a car. You're like, yeah, let me really go into detail on this. And be like, oh, I didn't actually care. Just kidding. That's what it's like in distribution, right? There's not many people that you can like talk to that'll be like, yeah, dude, I'm dealing with like, I got to deal with these 3 vendors all at the same time. They're being annoying, like nobody else is dealing with these problems, right? It's like this little tight knit community that has to do with these very specific problems. So we know a lot of them, right? And I try and keep in touch with them because obviously we're all dealing with the same problems. So it's been cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Minus like one of them, they don't want to talk to me, but that's okay. They probably just don't like me, so it's okay.
Well, you're disruptive, right? Like,
could be,
and it's cool. Like I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm looking at it like, dang, like like it's a little like you're waiting for like is there? I don't know. Maybe it's because nobody else is doing it.
Yeah,
it's like you're like, is this gonna go bad?
Yeah,
and so I
keep thinking every year
right?
too.
you're
like, dude, like at some point, like it's.
I think about my personal brand. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, like is that a little?
Yeah. But and sometimes too, like, I mean, you're knowing this too, right? Like you just went out and got the award at Pain is Dead, right, for Rockstar of the Year.
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking like all year, like we were talking about this in the car, like is any of this stuff like working? Like I'm putting a lot of time into stuff that just feels like it's a waste of time.
Sure.
And then like that happens for you, and you're like, shoot, okay, obviously I did something right. So what is it? That's what I feel like every year. Like every year we're like, dude, is this working? And then like something comes up where it's like, hey, we sold 75 grand in equipment. And they were like, yeah, I know Tyler. That's what they put on the reference form. It's like, and you're like, okay, so it's still working. So like, I guess I'm going to keep doing it like until it stops working, I guess at this point. So I don't know. I like doing it. I like talking about it, I like making content, and hopefully people like buying stuff at Wensco. That's kind of our goal. So,
well, I appreciate you coming out and talking about it. I think that the people that watch this will appreciate it if, especially if they take the time and go out and watch any of the content. I think they'll dig it. I think it's cool. It's
I hope so. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, so don't ask me about it later. But I have a great time doing it. So, I love the podcast. Like if you're not, I don't know. I mentioned it probably at the beginning, but we do the Slightly Serious Sign podcast. Put it out every week. That gives you the whole gist of the podcast just in the name. So if you want to hear some information and lots of jokes and lots of side tangents and not in 100 minutes times 4, we try and do it in an hour and I try and keep it as informational as possible. The whole goal was to do it like the conversations that are happening at trade shows that feel like they're kind of going away. I want to bring those into the podcast format. So if you're bringing on new equipment or new material, I want to give a long form version of that tells people like, hey, here's why we came out with this new thing. Here's what it does. Here's how it's different. And those conversations aren't happening. And I think the podcast was a great way to do it. So if you like what you hear, you can join us. That's the name of it. You can look it up anywhere. And then, you can reach out to us at Wensco.
Cool. It's a great podcast. Check it out. Thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
Lambert, we good?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Cool.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks.
Oh, groovy, baby.
All right, let's go.